freaks and geeks out there in podcast land. It's Wednesday, April the 19th, and you know what that means. You got yourself a brand new episode of the Doctor's Orders podcast with the 512 Foot Doctor. The podcast where I meet with some of the most creative and influential people that I know to share stories from the ride of life. As always, I'm your host, the 512 Foot Doctor, coming at you live and direct from the studio of Life or Death, back at home. If you're a returning freak or geek, thank you very much for checking back into our regularly scheduled appointment. And if you're new here tuning in for the first time, welcome to the Freaks and Geeks family. Freaks and Geeks, we got episode number 36 of the Doctor's Orders podcast. We got a definite banger coming up here. Another film-directed episode, another director-based episode. Put your hands together for our guest, episode number 36 of the podcast. Coming back, another freaking geek of the Doctor's Orders podcast family, Trent Albert. What's going on, big guy?
What do you hear? What do you say? We just were fresh back from watching Super Mario Brothers, the movie.
Fresh off. What'd you think about that, dude?
It was dope. Dope. The visuals were fire. My daughter loved it. She said it's the best movie she's ever seen, so I'm going to rock with her on that.
Super trippy, for sure. I think so. A lot of colors, a lot of stuff going on. I think if you drop something in there, you could definitely, it's meant for tripping on. There's a lot of colors going on.
We may or may not have ate a couple mushrooms.
May or may not have. Yeah, let's check that box right there. May or may not have.
Diaz went in there on fucking everything.
Out of there, dude. I don't know. It was a little toasty before we left, but it was nice. I got it.
Yeah, it was dope, though. It was real dope.
So, this is your second time this is your third time on the cast. This is your second time.
Third time's a charm.
Third time's a charm, for sure. We're going to get back to talking about movies, again, trying to stick with that, but back on talking about directors. We're going to talk about Paul Thomas Anderson, right?
My favorite.
Yeah?
My fucking favorite. If you had to sit in, I like Scorsese, Tarantino, all that shit, but man, PTA, that's my guy.
Yeah, there's definitely something about his film characteristics and the subject matter that he chooses to go with.
He's a creepy fuck, but you know, most of his shit's creepy. It'll make you uncomfortable. Sometimes it's hard to watch. Go watch Magnolia. You'll fucking want to shoot yourself, but it's good.
So before we just jump right into that, I want to talk about, anytime I'm thinking about going with this approach for these film director-based podcasts that we do, I want to talk about the current films that are in the theater house. That's not usually something that I tend to focus on because...
been a lot of bullshit lately.
Yeah, a lot of bullshit, for sure. So... let's talk about the number one on the list is Mario. We just saw it. We just talked about it.
I give that shit an A+.
Yeah, I really liked it. Love the direction from I forget. I don't know who the production company, but the cats that did Minions.
Is that the people that did it?
I don't know how to pronounce their stuff right now.
It's not Pixar, right? Is it Pixar?
No. It's, and it's not even DreamWorks. It's Illumination or some shit like that.
Illumination. That's what it is.
I don't know if that's the right one, but yeah, that's what it's going on.
I like the little, they threw the Mario Kart shit in there. Yeah. Donkey Kong was in there. Like, a lot of random shit. That like, damn, I forgot about that shit. Yeah. I don't know who that star thing was, though.
That's like it's a definite meme for sure. It's from...
Is it one of the Mario shits?
It's from one of the later Marios, but the later, like an Odyssey or like Super Mario Sunshine. I don't know anything about it.
It gave me Sunshine vibes. Yeah. It might be Sunshine. Yeah,
it was just some sort of meme from the series in general.
No, I was wondering. It was funny as shit, but I was like, where is that from? I don't know what that shit's from.
No, that's definitely dope. There's
some references and shit in there that like you almost had to be our age to get like, oh damn, I remember that shit because I know that shit's not in the newer games. I play a lot of the newer games with Ro.
Yeah, it was really good. A huge fucking cast right there.
Seth Rogen, he dropped that on me. I was like, just zone the fuck out for a second. He hits me with, that's your boy fucking Seth Rogen playing Donkey Kong. Yeah. Jesus Christ on the cross. That
cast list is huge, man.
Who was Princess Peach?
That I don't know, but let's check this out. Here we go.
We got Buddy, who was Mario, right? Who's
from
Pratt?
Yeah, right? Chris Pratt.
Chris Pratt. And who was Luigi? I have no idea.
Charlie Day. Charlie Day. Charlie Day's big in... You may have seen him in Horrible Bosses. He was one of the dudes... I think he was the dude tied along with Jennifer Aniston.
Oh, no shit.
But he's known for definitely much more than that. So Freaks and Geeks, don't fucking flip out on
I've definitely heard the name.
He's also a major component, a major part of Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
Really? That's where I'm pulling it from. Okay, yeah. Okay.
Damn,
I would have never fucking put that together though.
Yeah.
Listening to it.
So,
I love how the movie, and we were kind of complaining beforehand that, they didn't have the Italian accent and shit. Mm-hmm. I like how they did that at the beginning. It kind of started off with the commercial where they're doing the Italian accent, like, hey, we got him,
Yeah.
That shit was fire.
Okay, so we got Chris Pratt, Mario. Then we got, I'm going to butcher the name, Anna or Taylor-Joy. I think she did the
a lot of these new actors, I have no idea who they are, and I know they're like out there doing
she's from
thing.
Queen's Gambit.
No shit.
Yeah, you ever seen that?
No, I've heard Tom Segura and them talk about it, yeah.
She's a hell of an actress, hell of a modern actress. Charlie Day, Luigi, Jack Black is Bowser.
Jack Black as Bowser. I didn't even put that together. No wonder. Hey, that shit was funny. He was funny. I like Bowser's character. I wasn't expecting him to be like a funny dude,
I'm skipping over a couple because I don't know them by name. Oh, Sebastian. Okay. I knew it. Yeah, he was Spike. Yeah, I knew it.
Oh, shit. Yeah. And that's why he was so cool.
Yeah.
We were both like left the movie theater. We're like, hey, that fucking Spike dude was dope. I don't know who that was, but yeah.
We got Keegan-Michael Key as Toad.
No shit.
Yeah.
I would have never put none of this together. For some reason, I didn't even know it was Seth Rogen until you told me. And then I was like, oh, shit, I can hear it now.
What's this guy's name? I'm going to butcher the last name. Fred Armisen? I butchered that name. He's from like Flight of the Conchords or something like that. He's in the comedy.
I know what you're talking. Yeah.
Maybe an SNL type cat too as well. And then we got Seth Rogen as Donkey Kong.
How much you think that motherfucker made?
Off that.
Or is gonna make? Mm-hmm. Jesus Christ! Like Pratt and them, if they make this, like you were saying, like a franchise thing where they're gonna like break it off into like the Luigi's Mansion and all that shit, I'm down for all of them. Yeah. I'll be fucking 55 watching like
especially with that, like those visuals. That
no shit, yeah, because they make it cool. Even in the games that my daughter has, like the Odyssey and all that shit. Like while you're playing them, you're like, this shit don't even seem real,
And it's crazy the fact that they improved off the game graphics.
No shit, because they were fire on the Switch game. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
And it's just adding more just detail to texture. All that skeletal structure was there. You know what I'm saying?
When it showed the Koopa skeleton like reforming, I didn't think that they were going to do that shit. But when it started reforming, that shit was dope.
It's just to like not rebuild the wheel, for them to just jump in, partner with Nintendo, who's got everything at their disposal.
You can do whatever you want.
Yeah, it's crazy. The next thing they're throwing at us is Dungeons and Dragons. I think this is the second one, Honor Amongst Thieves.
I had no idea that Dungeons and Dragons was even a thing anymore. But didn't they have the what was the old movie with Marlon Wayans and shit in it? Was that Dungeons and Dragons, or am I tripping?
I don't know.
Am I pulling one of those fucking?
That might have been a non-relation to Dungeons and Dragons. That might have been like a comedy. I don't know too much about.
You know what I'm
series.
talking about, though, right?
I don't know.
It was like Marlon Wayans. I forget who like the lead dude was or whatever, but it was like some. I want to say it was Dungeons. I thought I might be tripping.
Maybe.
It was like when we were fucking 10 years old.
Yeah. Maybe a different franchise, because I know this has gone through a couple of different like transitions, and this one's kind of like the first one to like actually take.
I didn't even see nothing about it until we were in the theater, and it was showing like little clips of Michelle Rodriguez and shit. I'm like, what, they got fucking Dungeons and Dragons?
This next joint is Air. This is starring Ben Affleck. It's about the Air Jordan 1. So you'd think it would I'd be all up on it. I'm kind of letting it go by, When
I first seen the commercial, I was like, what are they doing with this? Yeah. You know what I mean? It seemed like
it's a little drama piece.
Yeah, like a little too produced or some shit.
Yeah.
But I like Ben Affleck, though. I'm an Affleck guy.
We got Matt Damon. Jason Bateman's in it.
Jason Bateman. Okay. You can't go wrong.
Ben's in it. Chris Messian. I'm going to butcher that one.
That name sounds familiar.
Viola Davis. She's been in a lot of that true crime stuff.
Viola Davis. Was she in that The Shape of Water?
Let me see.
Or am I tripping? I can't.
She was in The Help. She's in The Woman King, Fences, Widows.
I think I'm thinking of the right chick.
She's often...
The older lady with bug eyes and shit?
I think so. She's in the How to Get Away with Murder. That's a big series for her.
Yeah, I'm thinking of the right lady.
Scandal. She's in that one too. She's just made her... and I don't want to take anything away from anybody. She's definitely cut her teeth in the true crime genre for sure. Definitely banking on that.
That's a good little genre.
Yeah, especially the dramatized true
People
crime.
love that shit. Mm-hmm. Chelsea can sit there all day and watch it.
I feel like that's even a fiction. That's not even like that... some of it's based off like truthful stuff.
Yeah, but they'll put their own little twist.
Yeah, she's been in a lot of stuff. She was. I forgot she was in Disturbia. That's one of the joint that I like.
Yeah.
It's a hidden gem right there.
Yeah, no shit. We watched that not that long ago, me and Joe.
Yeah. She's got a lot of TV and film credits as well. So
I want to watch it though, just to fucking see what's up. Because Matt Damon and Ben Affleck, when they team up, it's usually something dope.
Yeah, we got John Wick 4.
I've never watched the John. I've seen like 30 minutes of the first one, and it was fire. But it was one of those things where like we were leaving the house or whatever.
I'm down with it. I popped on the first one, and I made it like maybe half a way through.
Don't they say they like got the best fight scenes and shit?
Yeah, I think so. It's just like it's kind of a modern kung fu. I feel.
Really?
Yeah, but not to that extent. Yeah.
My coworker Fred, shout out to Fred. He told me he watched the John Wick 4 over the weekend. He said it was dope as fuck.
Yeah.
But I don't know if I'd trust his movie recommendations.
It's a big box office banger.
Yeah,
man.
I know. Every time it's one of those that like people didn't know shit about it when the first one came out, right? And then it just blew up.
Yeah, very independent when it first came out. I think.
I like that kind of shit though. I like Keanu.
Shout out to him. He's dope. Renfield, little vampire flick starring
Nicolas Cage. Am I tripping? Yeah, okay. I knew when you said the name earlier. I was like, yeah.
That one's been in like the works for some time, and now it's.
I remember seeing like pictures on Instagram of like, is fucking Nicolas Cage playing Dracula? They're gonna, you know what I mean? But that's what it ended up being, right?
Yeah, I think it's like a comedy horror.
That's I got a love-hate thing for Nicolas Cage. You know? Like lately, he's been fucking. He's just a weird dude. Yeah. But like his older shit in the '90s, I fucking love Nicolas Cage.
He's got a hell of a script there.
Motherfucker's a badass.
Yeah, he went through done a lot of stuff.
When you're related to fucking Francis Ford Coppola, I forget he's like the cousin or whatever the fuck. Yeah. Like his name is Coppola. He was born Coppola. Really? Yeah, and like switched that shit up and got busy in Hollywood. Yeah. You know what I mean? That's some other shit.
Yeah, he's one that he's got a lot of ups and downs, but he's got like, I don't want to say memeable films because he definitely does.
No, yeah, for sure.
But he's got those definite strikeouts and then some major hitters.
I feel like in like the fucking late 2000s and shit, like he had like a couple, like that National Treasure shit, that first one was dope to me.
Banger.
You know what I mean? That shit was fire to me.
Loved it.
But he had like some bullshit in there too. You know what I mean? And then he hit me with the one of my favorite fucking movies of all time is The Bad Lieutenant, and he made the fucking second one or whatever, the New Orleans one with Werner Herzog, who's like one of my favorite directors, and that shit was ass, bro. Yeah.
I didn't even dabble into it.
I fucking was stoned and grabbed it one day from I Love Video and fucking just wanted to break it.
He did a Western lately, The Old Way. Haven't seen that one.
No shit, no, I never heard about it.
And then he did that one.
I feel like he started fucking with his hairline and shit. Once dudes start doing that kind of shit, they lose me. You know what I mean? Even Tom Hanks, like in the late 2000s, he lost me for like a second because he was fucking with his hair. Now he's got like the good plugs. So that fucker went to Istanbul and got some dope ass plugs.
I'm looking for. He did a recent one that was really gory and graphic.
Nicolas Cage?
Yeah. Of course, he's in The Rock. He's in Face Off. Face Off.
Face Off. When you were fucking 7 years old and you watched Face Off for the first time. Come on, fam. That shit was dope.
I can't find
the movie that I fuck with though, and I watched it when I was a little fucking kid, and it like gave me fucked up dreams and shit. Is what is it called, bro? It's what's the trippy dude that makes the weird fucking movies? Blue Velvet and shit.
I don't know.
What the fuck?
Blue Velvet.
Why do I draw blanks every time I'm fucking talking when it's important?
Blue Velvet.
And Eraserhead and all that shit. David Lynch.
Okay.
David Lynch. Look up his fucking catalog over here. He's got a movie with Nicolas Cage and David Lynch. What the fuck is it called? It's like a half a love story, but a weird ass one.
Yeah. I'll have to check that out. I'm on his wiki, but I shouldn't be here.
Let me see. I'll pull this shit up. I keep wanting to fucking say The Pursuit of Happiness. That's
Twin Peaks, something. You got Eraserhead, Blue Velvet, another Twin Peaks, Lost Highways, Dune.
It's one of his like not so huge ones, but it was fucking
Wild at Heart.
Wild at Heart, there we bro. Go. That motherfucker right there. I watched that shit on cable TV when you had to pull out, fucking switch the channel 3 times over shit. I watched that shit. I think Christian Estrada was with us, our classmate Christian. Shout out Christian.
Yeah.
I remember like sitting in the room and was like, what the fuck is this? There was like naked, like 400-pound chicks running around one part and a trailer park and shit.
Yeah.
But I went back and watched it when I was like, I don't know, 20 or some shit, and it blew my mind again.
Bruh.
What's his name? Willem Dafoe. I know you're a Dafoe guy.
He's in there?
Fam. What's his name in there? It's like, fuck, he's got like a dope name in the fucking movie. But you've seen his face. Like he's in memes and shit.
Oh, yeah. You've been telling me about this joint.
With the little teeth and shit.
Okay.
Bro. Yeah. What's his fucking name in the movie? He's got a dope ass name, but
where is he
it's like Johnny Cuba or some bullshit.
Yeah, he's not Bobby Peru.
Bobby Peru, that motherfucker right there will blow your mind.
Have to check that out.
They're like robbing a fucking place.
Yeah.
At one point in the fucking movie, and he like switches up on Cage's ass.
Okay,
and he's got the pantyhose over his fucking face, and you will trip the fuck out, dog. That shit'll give you nightmares. I fucking, like, before I knew who Willem Dafoe was, I didn't know people were actors. I was like fucking 6 years old, you know?
Yeah.
I thought Bobby Peru was a real dude and a scary motherfucker. I didn't want to go to New Mexico or wherever the fuck they were in the movie.
Yeah.
It's a trippy movie, though.
I'll have to check it out. That's on the top of the list now. So that movie I was talking about is called Mandy. He did that in 2018. And I know this is just to talk about current stuff. Yeah.
Mandy.
It's super like graphic, and I don't want to call it graphic, but it's like a lot of blood and whatnot. This ain't gonna do it justice. That's the cover.
I've seen I think I seen a meme or like a little clip of this shit on Instagram. Somebody used it on something.
Yeah, I've never seen it. It reminds me of like Evil Dead with the whole like chainsaw thing.
It got good reviews or no?
I think so. A lot of people went to go see it.
Is that what like because he's having like a half a little comeback right now? You know what I mean? And I don't know what sparked it.
That's been something that's definitely brought him to rise. That film right there. Yeah.
He must have dropped a couple little gems as of late.
Yeah.
I fuck with Nicolas Cage though. Just let your hair fucking fall out or whatever. You know what I mean? You look weird. When people start fucking with themselves, that shit trips me out.
Yeah.
Bro.
So a couple more current films, and then we'll move on to what we're here to talk about. Creed 3.
Creed 3. I heard nothing but great things.
Yeah.
I haven't watched it yet. I seen the first one, but I feel like I was like doing something while I was watching it. You know, not in theaters.
Yeah.
And shout out to, what's his name? Michael B. Jordan. He's a badass.
Yeah, he's making his cut in that.
He blew me away in that Fruitvale Station. You ever seen that shit?
No, I ain't seen that.
I want to say he directed that shit too. But that's a badass movie, bro.
Yeah.
That's one where you'll be like, this dude's a fucking badass actor.
Fruitvale Station?
Fruitvale Station, yeah. He's like, I think it was like a true story. A dude got shot in Oakland, like coming off of their little train over there.
Yeah.
On some bullshit from the cops or whatever. But it's just like showing his day that like led up to that shit.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think I want to say he directed it, but I know he directed this Creed 3, sure. Right?
Yeah.
They say the fight scenes and shit are badass in it.
I see that. It doesn't have any take or perspective of Sylvester Stallone at all.
No shit, he's not in it at all?
No, I believe not at all.
No shit.
Yeah.
Whoa. I don't know about that.
So they're kind of cutting, I don't want to say they're cutting him from the franchise, but.
Yeah. He might have like gave a blessing though, who knows?
Yeah, they're trying to make that its own thing.
Its own thing, carry on for.
Have Michael B. lead it, you know?
I know, I think Terrence Crawford makes an appearance in it.
Yeah, there's
a couple boxers in it, like, I think Jose Benavidez.
And Cornerheads.
Yeah.
Cornerman.
Stitch and shit, like pop up, yeah. I forgot, my buddy Adams, our classmate Adam, his brother was telling me, I think, Terrence Crawford. There was a few boxers in it where he's like, oh shit, I didn't know, you know? That's dope. I like that kind of shit. You know what I mean?
Next, we got Scream 6.
I want to see this shit. Is this one got like a...
This one's like based in New York.
Yeah. Does this one have like a supernatural element to it? Or is this,
I don't know.
You know what I mean? I got that vibe when I was watching the trailer. I only seen it once, the trailer, but I was like, hey, that's different. It's not like a dude in a fucking suit. It's like some other shit.
Yeah, I know that what threw me off is like they bring in like the use of a gun versus the knife.
The knife?
Yeah. You see that in the trailer.
They're in New York. The motherfuckers like to pop off.
So I don't know about that.
I want to watch it though.
Yeah, I'm all for it. I was not really like big into the series in general, but as of late, I think I went to see 5 in the previous. I've seen at least the previous 2.
I think I watched up to 3, and I may have like watched 4 and don't remember the shit, but because it got shitty for a while, right?
Well, I had no clue that it got that huge MTV base.
Yeah,
It started off as that. I didn't
MTV
know that
shit.
at all.
Yeah. What's her name? The chick who played the
The main
chick, yeah, she was huge on MTV.
Yeah.
They had her like fucking hosting the VMAs, or you know what I mean, whatever the fuck.
Now this one's a transition to that new like actress. She was in Wednesday.
Bro, my daughter.
What's her name? Jenna Ortega.
My daughter, she loves that Wednesday shit. We were just, when we were in the theater right now watching the Super Marios, was she in one of the previews?
I don't know.
Because Ro jumped up and was like, "Is that Wednesday?"
I think maybe. I saw a little bit.
Wednesday?
Yeah.
I don't know. I never watched it, but
she's a good actress.
Is she?
Good actress.
Her and Chelsea watched it a few times.
Yeah, and she's leading this.
What is it about?
Scream.
Oh, it's the Scream.
Yeah, she's leading it. Yeah.
Oh no shit.
Yeah, doesn't look bad.
I didn't know. Yeah, I want to watch it regardless.
Yeah, I'm glad to see it.
And we grew up with that shit. You know what I mean? Scream was like a little thing growing up.
Cult, classic type stuff for there. All right, let's do final one. We'll end it with Paint.
I'm gonna check this shit out just because I love Owen Wilson and I love Bob Ross.
Yeah.
Fuck it. I thought it was going to be a series. Like I said, when you told me earlier, I was like, oh, I thought it was like a Hulu thing.
Yeah.
I had less of a chance watching it if it was a Hulu thing, but knowing it's a movie now, I'm going to play it.
Yeah. And I think they're doing a lot of those direct-to-streaming things.
I'm down with that shit because half of them are good, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
One of the best movies I ever fucking seen was, it wasn't that, but it was, HBO drops like a gem every once in a while, just a movie, not a series.
Yeah.
That fucking Liberace shit, bro.
Have
you ever watched the fucking Liberace movie?
Who's in it?
Matt Damon and fucking...
is it Toby? Not Toby Maguire.
Matt Damon and...
Is it called Amadeus?
Michael Douglas.
Is it called Amadeus? No?
No. It's called Behind the Candelabra.
Okay.
I think it's...
Okay.
Fam.
Okay.
This shit right here will blow your mind. Behind the Candelabra. Michael Douglas playing Liberace and Matt Damon playing his gay, like, lover boy, half a slave dude. It's deep, fam. It's deep. Joey Diaz has a whole, like, 20 minutes on it. It was so good. It blew his mind, too. I remember listening to a podcast and just like, this dude gets it. You know what I mean?
I see.
It's dope, though. I thought they got to have it on HBO Max or something because it was an HBO movie.
Yeah, I think it's on there. I have to check that out.
Watch that shit tonight.
Yeah.
Do yourself a favor. Dan
Aykroyd's in this thing,
Dan
too?
Aykroyd dropped, and he is like gold frame glasses. It's deep, bro. It's deep. It's a deep fucking movie. Liberace. This dude who Matt Damon is playing is like a real guy, right?
Scott Thomas.
This motherfucker was like on Howard Stern. And I think he was involved with the Boogie Nights. This is like a jump to PTA right now, but like the whole Boogie Nights scene where the dude's popping the fireworks and all that shit when they go to rob him, that's like half of a real story. And like the dudes all got murdered, right? The dudes that robbed him, they all got murdered by the guy. And he was like somehow involved with that. He was like at the house buying drugs when the dudes got murdered or came later. Like he was involved in some wild shit in Hollywood.
That's
you know
crazy.
What I mean? But yeah, that fucking Liberace got this dude to get a chin implant to look more like him. Like he wanted to be fucking himself. And like Matt Damon is in this movie with a fucking chin implant. Yeah. It is dope, bro. No homo. I gotta call it shit. Pause, big pause. But this shit is live.
I'll have to check that out.
I can't even front. Fucking Michael Douglas, bro. Classic. Yeah. He could have just like ended the whole fucking career with this shit. He should have. Yeah. I want to say it won something, bro. Like I don't know about an Oscar, but like I don't even know if you could.
I think so.
Like an Emmy or whatever the fuck they get nominated for, the straight to movie, whatever.
Yeah.
Fire though.
Yeah, I'll have to check that out.
Write that shit down.
Yeah, Michael Douglas is one of my favorites.
Fuck yeah, dog. And him playing Liberace, I'm telling you, he's
good.
He's extra with it. He's like an old woman the whole movie, but it's like it's deep.
What did it get?
And what's his name's in it too? I want to say like Rob Lowe pops up in it and shit. Yeah, bro, it's deep.
Okay, so it is a straight out HBO piece.
And one of the best movies I've ever fucking seen, and that's no bullshit.
Damn.
When I first watched it, I was living on Parker Lane up there in Austin. I watched that shit like 5 fucking times. Bro. Yeah. Every day I got home, I was like, I'm putting fucking Behind the Candelabra back on. I don't know. That shit is trippy. Yeah, it's dope.
That's what's up. Yeah, I got
Liberace. Just imagine Michael Douglas with a wig on and fucking gold and shit. You know what I mean? Yeah. And Matt Damon, like I said, with a fake fucking chin and like the 80s fucking feathered hair. It's weird. It's weird. It's dope though. Damn. Dan Aykroyd is fire in it. Yeah. He's got the big like Jim Jones. Yeah. fucking shade, glasses and shit.
Yeah.
They're gold rimmed and shit. Is fire.
So, let's get to it. Paul Thomas Anderson.
PTA.
I think you're a little bit more like familiarized with him than myself.
Mm-hmm.
I'll talk to you about like where my experience with him picks up. But tell me about like your first PTA movie.
The first shit I ever fucking seen. Shout out my cousin Jaron. We were in his fucking basement, and he said that his mom had a movie that was like a porno fucking movie. He was, he hadn't seen the fucking thing or whatever, but we're thinking it's just you're going to show some titties in it or whatever.
Yeah.
And he sneaks upstairs and gets fucking Boogie Nights. And we sit there. I had to be like fucking 9 maybe or something like that in his fucking basement and watched the whole thing and died laughing, was like kind of creeped out with the whole like porn shit, because it's like older, weird. It's like that 70s shit. I wouldn't, we're used to, this is like prime Pamela Anderson popping off and shit. Like we weren't used to this weirdo shit. I didn't want to see, what's her name with the freckles, her fucking name?
The skate girl?
No. I always draw fucking. I could talk about this shit all day long. I draw
Julia
Moore.
Julia Moore. Yeah.
She's fire, but like
freaky,
I'm fucking,
creepy.
Yeah. I'm 9. I don't want to see this fucking. Whatever. But that was the first experience with PTA. I was watching fucking Boogie Nights at my cousin's house.
That's crazy. I don't think that's. I think my first one was right here, Punch Drunk Love.
Yeah, dog. That's one of my favorite fucking movies, period.
And again, like I was telling you, when I got on to Paul Thomas Anderson, it was during college, would have been my freshman year of college, and I just went to, at UNT, they had a media library, and shout out to it, I think it's still there, housed a bunch of media.
Like, thank God for shit like that, because I always wonder, like, where do people, like, pop up with these old commercials that they could put on YouTube and shit, but it's, like, people holding on to, like, the shit for years and years.
And it was dope, because you had your ID card, just like you use at the library.
And you can go whatever the fuck.
Too. And you could check out all this type of stuff, bunch of DVDs. I don't know if they had VHS or tapes or anything like that, but I know there was like screening rooms in the back.
Shit.
I think there was at least one, not a theater, but it was like a theater room.
No shit.
And then they had these little like desks that you could, I'm sure it was reel to reel or something of that.
That's what
technology.
I was going to ask you. Like, what? They had all that kind of shit in there?
Like, I just remember going, they had like a straight up front desk, and then to the left of that desk, you could go back there and utilize all that other stuff.
No shit.
Screening room. And I don't know what the tables were for.
Could you go in there and like browse shit, or was it just like you go in there knowing what you're gonna get type shit?
They had the whole card catalog online, just like they had the books. You just go type in whatever you want, and then it was dope. Okay, this is bringing back some shit. There specifically, they would just cut off these little spare pieces of paper in like little strips, and I think you had a six disc or 6 item limit, and you would just write all your shit on the little strips and hand them, and then hand your ID, and they're like, all right, we'll be back.
Gotta go find this shit.
They go in the back room, come through with that, and they're like, all right, scan. All right, here you go.
That's dope.
We'll see you. And I think it was a hot minute. They gave you like a week on it or something like that.
No shit.
Yeah.
See, man, God bless shit like that, dog. You try to go to fucking, like, rest in peace, I love video.
Yeah.
But that's what I fucking loved about it. You can go over there and get like 5 things for like $3, and it's just like, bring these back, hopefully. You know what I mean? Yeah. They didn't even trip on you at all. They'd waive the fucking late fees and all that kind of shit.
I thought that was an amazing thing about my college experience. I'm also sure I was paying for it because I'm going to the school, but that was also included to do that.
All that little kind of shit like that. That's what makes a big difference, bro. You know what I mean?
And you could check out game consoles. You could check out games there as well.
They make it like livable for the fucking kid. You know what I mean? You go in there, you're broke, you're going to fucking college, and you could rent a fucking game system. Like, how badass is that?
But that's where I peeped Boogie Nights. That's where I peeped Punch Drunk Love. May have peeped There Will Be Blood there too. I know, shout out to it. This isn't what we talk about. I watched the entire series of The Sopranos because I hadn't seen it at that time. So I watched pilot to end, and they were just going in and returning discs.
One of these days, we're going to save that. We're going to savor that, but we're coming in this motherfucker and we're going in hot on The Sopranos. So it's going to be like a fucking 4-hour podcast. Get ready.
Can't wait for that one. But yeah, that's Boogie Nights. That's the process of like the UNT Media Library. I think that's what it's called.
That's dope. Shout out to them for that shit.
So fucking sick, man. Just like,
shout out to people who collect shit. You know what I mean? I was always one of those kids that like, I'm going to do this. And I'd do it for like fucking 3 months. And then like my mom would fucking get rid of it. She was like a clean freak and shit. You know what I mean? Or whatever the fuck. Or I'd forget about it or give it away or whatever. You know, like I wish I still had like my Dragon Ball Z fucking collection or, you know, my Pokemon cards that are worth fucking $3,000 a card now and shit. You know what I mean? But there's people that held on to that shit. If I had a basement, bro, come on now. I would have held on to all that shit, all my little games and shit. You know what I mean?
It's
Ninja Turtles.
Holding on to shit, definitely important. Collecting. I mean, as you can tell, I'm a definite collector. This is a big part of like, I've talked about it a lot, not a lot on the podcast, but there's frequent people I've talked to about. And it kind of, I know we're getting away from the PTA stuff, and we'll come on back. Kind of stems from like records. I found that a lot of people have a record collection. Haven't I talked to you about? Like, aren't interested in getting
Fuck yeah, my grandparents got the whole, remember that whole collection that my dad had at Lifestyle?
Yeah.
That whole shit, that's like crated up right now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
just got to go through that shit. I know they got a whole bunch of fucking Ray Charles and, you know, all that kind of shit.
But yeah, that's off the collections, man. So that's kind of where I tend to ask people what their take on like collecting shit is. And a lot of people that I've talked to have little records and shit.
I respect the shit. If I had like space for that kind of shit, bro, I would get into something heavy. Yeah. You know what I mean?
They're dope. What is your favorite, or excuse me, who's your favorite PTA character?
It almost has to be Daniel Plainview.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It almost has to be. Either him or fucking Dirk Diggler, though. I fucking love Mark Wahlberg and Boogie Nights. He's like so subtle with like the boyish shit, you know, early. You know what I mean? Like, that's not cool, Jack. All that kind of shit. You know what I mean? I love that kind of shit. But yeah, it almost has to be fucking Daniel Plainview.
It's almost too good.
That motherfucker could just say, he didn't even have to speak in the fucking movie. He could have just like looked at you in certain scenes and shit, and that could have just been a movie on itself, you know? Like the first fucking 15 minutes, like nothing said, you know?
And he's not even like in it. It's the other guy, right?
Yeah, and it's just like, that shit sucks you the fuck in though.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I remember the first time I seen this shit, like I was living out in the country, and my dad just like happened to, and my dad don't even like fucking movies. He likes the good shit, like The Shining and Full Metal. He was just like a Cooper guy, really. Creepy shit. But he was like sucked the fuck in too. We both were just like talking and just like sat in silence for like 10 minutes. Like, what the fuck is this? And it was just like the first 10 minutes of the movie. Like nothing said, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah, that motherfucker will suck you in. It's almost got to be Daniel Plainview.
Yeah. I dig it.
He goes through like a lot of emotions.
Yeah.
You know, that you could like see on his fucking face, you know? But, you could like just see the whole time that he really don't give a fuck about what you're talking about. You know what I mean?
He's just trying to find that oil.
Yeah, that motherfucker's trying to get his.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's it. I like that kind of shit, though. God
damn, dude. And we're going to talk a little bit more on that movie in specific. Even in his final act, when he's like approached by the other character... damn, what's his name? Paul Dano.
Paul Dano.
What's his name though? Damn.
Give me 2 seconds of silence. It's fucking Eli.
Yeah, Eli Sunday. Eli Sunday.
The Sunday Ranch. Yeah,
the fact that the whole like ending in the bowling alley and it just ends on still like I'm still gonna get. Yeah, I'm
still like come clean this shit up. You know what I mean? Fuck y'all. But yeah, even in the final fucking act, this motherfucker's like, fuck y'all, come clean my shit up. Yeah. I've got it to the point where y'all are going to come clean my shit up. You feel me? And like a lot of people, I've heard them like go through the movie and like, you know, they a lot of people like try to, that's what's cool about PTA shit is like you could read 50 fucking things out of one movie. You know, you watch it 10 years later and you got a whole different picture. Yeah. You know what I mean? But I've heard people try to like break it down, and you know he's just like falling apart at the end. But like he still don't give a Frenchman's fuck.
He knows what's going on.
Like he don't give a fuck. Come clean my shit up. I'm done. You feel me? For it to end on that, like that's all time. He might be one of the. I mean, who's a better like character? Period.
He sticks with it.
Not like PTA, just like in film. Period. Who's a better character than fucking? I mean, you got your, like, fucking Marlon Brando and The Godfather and shit, like, you know, that kind of shit. But
and
like,
this is for a one-off.
That's what I'm saying. Like, this motherfucker was just like, come fuck with me. I got you.
The visuals in this, the cinematography, I think, is more what I'm thinking about is amazing in this one.
That's what sticks with you with PTA. Like, all the creepy shit is all good in it, but he will, undoubtedly, the shit's going to look great. Yeah. You know what I mean? You might not get it the first time you watch it or whatever the fuck, but that shit is gonna look great.
Yeah, I get with all that type of stuff, man.
Who's your favorite PTA?
I think it's him.
Character.
I think it's Daniel Plainview too. Yeah, I do like Barry. What's his name? Barry. Damn it. Barry Egan.
Barry Egan, yeah.
Yeah, from fucking Punch Drunk Love.
Anytime I see fucking Sandler in a suit, he's fucking Barry Egan to me.
I do like it. It's a very art house, weird film, Punch Drunk Love.
I love the whole, one thing about PTA's movies, he'll always drop like some random music through the whole shit. You know what I mean? And like Punch Drunk Love is real thick with that shit, where it's just like random drums and tambourines going off and shit. But it's like, what the fuck is this? You know, it keeps you interested.
Very weird film. And I think I watched it last night, and that was probably like the third time I've seen it. Mm-hmm. And I sat down and I was like, I'm going to try and understand fully what's going on here. It's got real like... And I'll use this loosely, Big Lebowski vibes with the whole carpet and stuff at the end with Seymour Hoffman doing that whole thing. Yeah. I don't think I put that together, that he was just trying to get off on Buddy the entire time.
For sure.
And I was like, oh shit, they're in the back making those calls?
No shit.
It's like, no, it's good though.
What's his name? What is shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. I've used that meme. You got to use that fucking meme. But when he's at the fucking... the payphone in Hawaii, and he's trying to get it, and he's talking to his sister on the phone, and he's like, just shut the fuck up, why do you treat me this way? That whole shit, that is deep, bro. And that motherfucker is like, that's a character that he's stuck to in that shit, you know what I mean? There's no, like, wavering one way or another. Like, he made some choices in that shit.
Yeah. This is one of the first, like, dramas that I saw Sandler in.
Yeah, that was, for sure, my first one. Or he had a...
he did that Spanglish.
Spanglish, yeah. But I think this was before Spanglish.
Yeah.
I think I seen Spanglish like late, years after it came out.
I just remember seeing this film, this film at buddies' houses that I would watch like all of Sandler's comedy shit. Mm-hmm. And then this was more so like that parent...
Yeah.
That like, parent's
what the fuck is this?
Yeah,
Sandler was in this shit?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I seen it randomly. Like, I was the fucking kid that was just, like, standing in my living room flipping through shit all day.
Yeah.
But I remember watching that shit the first time. I had to be on, like, HBO or some shit. You know what I mean? Just like, Sandler, I love Sandler. You know, this was probably, like, around the Big Daddy time. Yeah. You know what I mean? Maybe a little bit after that. So I'm a young fucking kid. Mm-hmm. I'm just like, what the fuck is this shit? But I liked it when I was a fucking kid too, just like the visuals. And I had no idea what the fuck the movie was about or like any kind of concept. I just knew he was a weird dude in the movie, kind of funny sometimes.
Yeah.
But like just the visual, the colors in that fucking movie is deep, bro. When he layers the scene when they fucking hug in the shadow and the whole and the scene is layered. It's like the ocean, the sand, the fucking chairs. It's
just back to the visuals of PTA.
Fire,
beautiful shit.
Fire.
Very
I don't
high
know,
caliber.
like I don't even think he was like a dude that like went to school for shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I think he was like straight up just a badass off top, like Quentin or somebody, just like a prodigy. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Cali-born dude, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like I said,
Valley. That's one thing about his movies.
Tell me about him. I don't know a lot about him.
I know he's a Valley dude. He's like a Valley. That's why it's like deep in all his movies. Like Boogie Nights, that's a Valley fucking movie. You know what I mean? But yeah, I think he was like a Quentin fucking contemporary type dude. I know Quentin's got like a lot of respect for him, and he's got a lot of respect for Quentin. Yeah. But I think his when he was dropping Boogie Nights, like the legend of PTA is like Boogie Nights was like the script that was gonna blow like Pulp Fiction out the water. You know what I mean? Like Pulp Fiction was dope, and that made like Hollywood had like Pulp Fiction had a buzz in Hollywood before it came out. Supposedly, like everybody heard the script, and it was like, holy shit, you know? Yeah. And of course, after Reservoir Dogs and all that shit, but supposedly Boogie Nights was the same way, and it was a little bit later. It was like 4 years later or whatever the fuck. But like everyone was, who's this fucking Paul Thomas Anderson kid? You know, and like what's this fucking script about? Is he gonna pull it together? You know, he's young and shit. Yeah. But that motherfucker was like 21 or some shit making Boogie Nights.
He still looks young. He's 52.
Yeah, he looks like a young motherfucker. But he was. I know he dated fucking what's her name, and supposedly like on blow kicked her out of a car. Damn it, what's that chick's name?
Who's that?
90s. Fuck. What's that song, bro? I'll think about it here in a... Damn, I had it for a second.
It's all good.
I'll think about it. But yeah, he supposedly kicked this fucking famous chick out the fucking car, like in the middle of traffic in the valley. He's got like some stories that I've heard. You know what I mean? But yeah, savage. Overall savage. His mind, bro, is one of those fucking minds you want to like pick at. Yeah. You know what I mean? There's certain people I'd like to like sit down in a fucking room, smoke a joint, and be like, "What the fuck is up, buddy?" Like,
based
you got
off
fucking
what he's
daddy
done on
issues
film and shit.
Yeah. He's got to have like some kind of issue.
Something.
You know what I mean? These people got some kind of issue.
All these characters definitely have issues.
Like, go fucking watch Magnolia, dog.
And weird issues,
not
just common shit, just off the very. What?
Just for him to like have that Chinese dude popping fireworks in the room while that other shit is going down, like why would you think to have that?
Very weird. You know
very weird. Unless you're like been in a situation like that, or you know what I mean? That's almost some shit you can't wite.
So it says he went to Santa Monica College. And then he enrolled as an English major at Emerson College. Shout out to Lee Syatt. I think that's how
you go to Emerson? That's right.
Where, in Boston. Where he was taught by David Foster Wallace. Don't know who that is. American novelist, short story writer, essayist.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
That makes sense because this motherfucker could write his fucking ass off.
Yeah.
As far as like a story, you know what I mean? That keeps you guessing and like, you know, you don't know where the fuck the shit's going.
Yeah. So it says for that short film, it says for $10,000 he made made up of gambling winnings, his girlfriend's credit card, money from his father set aside for his college. He made cigarettes and coffee. That's short.
Come on, dog.
Yeah.
That's like, short. I wish I had the fucking, you know, I got a lot of ideas in my fucking head, but like, I love the people, like I was telling Chelsea a while back, the only difference between these people that are like making a movie and all these motherfuckers that got a million ideas and scripts and all this shit is like they just kept pushing with that shit. You know what I'm saying? But like for him to be that young and be like, fuck it. You know, imagine being 19 and having 10 grand. You couldn't even like think about having 10 grand when you're fucking 19, you know?
To do
but
that
for him to be like, fuck it, I'm going to go drop that on this and hope for the best.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Hopefully somebody sees this shit. Like,
yeah, no, Freaks and Geeks, if you haven't seen Cigarettes and Coffee, it's a good little short. It's probably like maybe 15 no more than 20 minutes. It's got fucking Philip Baker Hall in it. It doesn't have John C. Reilly. I don't know who else is in it.
Buddy's in it, right? The dude who plays the creepy fucking guy in Boogie Nights that like goes to prison.
I don't know.
Or no, I'm thinking of him in the Dirk Diggler story or whatever the other little short he made. He's like the fucking porn dude.
Yeah, I remember that one. There's not a lot of like big name. I don't want to say big name heads, but Kirk Baltz, Philip Baker Hall, Scott Coffey, Miguel Ferreira, M.K. Harris, Jennifer Kaplan, Bonnie Fieldman. Philip Baker Hall is really the only like big name in this little short.
But just to have him in a fucking, you know, you're nobody, bro, and you got this motherfucker in there like killing it, and he put him in every fucking movie, damn it. You know what I mean? Yeah, really I love that kind of shit. I love people who like rock with ensemble cast. You notice this dude's like
him and Luis Guzman. He's appeared in a bunch of
all
PTA
of them.
films.
Fire. All the shit in the 90s, I think I was like every single one he was in. Yeah. Even up, fucking Punch Drunk Love, all that
and
shit.
John C. Reilly, too. I mean, he's come... I was talking to you about this previously. I'm not down with his like comedy shit. The Will Ferrell stuff.
He's hit or miss shit. Yeah, I didn't soak that shit in.
Yeah, but it's dope to see him. This is definitely up and coming for him, John C. Reilly. So I dig it. It's not bad.
I'm trying to think of who the fuck else he dropped. He's been with fucking with Joaquin a couple times now.
That's a more modern like approach of what he's doing with him. Yeah,
and. You get 2 movies fucking with Daniel Day-Lewis, and then when Daniel Day-Lewis is like, I want my final movie to be something that you write and direct, like, come on, bro, that's a fucking honor. That's like De Niro in his heyday being like, I want to retire right now with this shit.
The Phantom Thread.
That shit is dope. I've only seen it one fucking time.
I need to finish it.
Shout out to the chick, the actress that's...
Vicky...
whatever, she's from like Norway or some shit. Yeah. She is a badass though, bro. Watch her. She's a fucking badass. She's like like the sixth man on the fucking court.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like she'll fucking pop up in something and you're like, damn, that's that chick from yeah. And put that shit together.
I need to finish it.
She was in that, and I don't know if you've seen that movie Old, that fucking M. Night Shyamalan shit.
Yeah, she's in there?
She's the fucking, like, the mom in that movie.
Okay.
And I was like, bro, that's that chick from Phantom fucking Thread. No wonder that. And, like, she was the one that was holding me in that movie, you know?
Is it Camilla Rutherford? No?
No. She's got a weird name, I think.
Yeah.
She's from, like, Norway or...
I don't know. I can't pronounce that.
Something like
Lujvan Richards or something. I don't know.
Maybe.
I don't know. That's the only hard.
She's from like I want to say like Denmark or something. Like one of those random fucking Americans don't know too much about.
Yeah.
But yeah, shout out to her. She's fire.
Yeah. No, I do need to finish that Phantom Thread.
Yeah, the ending it ties everything where you're like, oh, okay, I know where this motherfucker's going with this shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But just I love the subtle shit, bro. Like the subtle. Mm-hmm. A lot of his shit is like real slow burning where you're like, where's this motherfucker even going with this shit or whatever, you know, at
and then it ties
first,
back
and then
to
you're
like,
oh shit.
Yeah.
You know, this is really creepy. But like in a good way.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Fuck yeah.
So, I mean, I watched Licorice Pizza. I watched it once. You're big on that.
That's my big on that. That was my fucking 2022. That was my fucking year, boy. I fucking played that. Let me roll it until
I thought it was dope.
The wheels fell off.
Yeah, some good music on it.
Fuck yeah, the soundtrack was dope. And fucking what's his name? Shout out to Bradley fucking Cooper.
Yeah,
motherfucker there deserved a goddamn Oscar. If he had like 5 more minutes, he would have been nominated for sure. I think you need like a certain amount of time on screen to like be nominated or whatever. But yeah, I love that shit. Huh? What's his name too? Fucking. Philip Seymour.
His kid? Cooper
fucking,
Hoffman?
Man, that motherfucker there. I just seen his father. You know what I mean? And like certain little scenes where he's smiling and shit. You're just like, damn. Like, but it's good to see that he's, you know what I mean, holding it together and shit. Yeah. You know what I mean?
I need to watch that one again. I definitely do.
Bro. You like, and to get any PTA movie, it's like you got to watch it 3 times. You know what I mean? To really get it. You know what I mean? The first time you could be like, oh, that shit was dope, or I didn't like it too much or whatever, and then you go watch it a second time and you're like, oh, this motherfucker makes sense now. Yeah. You feel me?
Yeah, a lot
it's
of
just like Punch Drunk Love. You don't even know what the fuck that shit's about, but it's just like, it's about whatever the fuck you want it to be about.
Yeah.
I like that kind of shit. I like a motherfucker that leaves me like, you tell me what that is. Yeah. And there's 50 different interpretations, and that's him to the fucking core.
And it's visually pleasing, too.
Yeah, exactly. So you're like, fuck, and it gets good performances out of his actors, dog.
Yeah.
That's like a big thing for me. I don't really care how like a movie's cut up or anything, because like Scorsese, like, he has a lot of, continuity issues. Yeah. You know what I mean? Where like the wine will be sitting right here and then it cuts away and it's sitting right here type shit. Yeah. But that, you don't even notice it because he's getting the best scene out of his fucking actor. Yeah. You feel me? And like PTA.
No, I get that.
If you can get anyone to sit in front of a camera where it's just a close-up shot on a fucking man's, there's a lot of that. PTA does a lot of just like real close-up where you're looking at the fucking eyes and shit. Yeah. And get those kind of performances out of the fucking actor, like, come on, dog. Like The Master with Joaquin when they're doing the whole fucking don't blink the eyes shit. Good. That whole scene, like, come on, that shit's creepy and well acted and well directed. The whole fucking cut up, everything. Yeah, no, I really dug that one when I saw it. Very good. And for him to have Philip Seymour Hoffman, again, like he's in everything. Bro. So many reoccurring with him because you see him in Boogie Nights, you see him in Master. I want to say he's in Hard Eight. He's like a dude that's shooting craps at the fucking table. Yeah, the motherfucker shooting craps in Hard Eight. I'm almost positive. Punch Drunk again. Punch Drunk. Yeah, he's in damn near everything. And to be like, all right, I'm going to go, let's fuck with your kid now. Bring him up. Yeah, no shit. Like, that's the kind of shit I respect, though. Yeah. You know, this dude could have chose to do whatever he wanted. He could write, he's like Quentin, whatever he wants to write, whatever, and he chose to write that shit. It's very much like a lot of his films where it's like, all right, the guy on top is going to lean his hand down to the guy on the bottom. Bring that motherfucker up. Yeah. Like, a lot of these people, you think that, like, Riley or whatever his name would still be like hanging around if he, you know, it's the first couple movies that you make in Hollywood that kind of like give you enough rope to like keep going. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And make it to that point where like you can hit it big with a Will Ferrell movie or whatever the fuck. But like this dude was keeping John C. Reilly like right there in Hollywood. He could have let that motherfucker go and we would have never heard about that dude. I agree. You know what I mean? Yeah. There's a lot of those. You feel me? Definitely cut his teeth. And Julianne Moore, like she's one of my favorite, it might be my favorite actress. And it's all because of PTA. Yeah. You know what I mean? I can name like 3 movies of hers that aren't PTA that I love her in, but like he gets performances out of motherfuckers, you know, and she plays crazy like nobody. Definitely.
All right, Freaks and Geeks, you're tuned in to episode 36 of the Doctor's Orders podcast with the 512 Foot Doctor. And again, we got Trent Albert in here. We're talking about Paul Thomas Anderson films. If you just decided to dabble into the 51st minute of this podcast and skip on through. And just a general reminder of what the fuck you're listening to. So, what are some of your favorite PTA lines?
I'm going to hit you with one from There Will Be Blood, and it's not even like a fucking deep line, or it's a deep line, but it's one that might not even stick out to most people. But when that motherfucker's talking to the dude who's faking to be his brother or whatever, and he hits him with the I hate most people shit, when he just like sitting there and he's like, I hate most people. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like that shit is creepy as fuck.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that pretty much sums up his whole fucking character.
Yeah.
It's like, I hate most people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The ones who are going to like, throw me something like I'm cool with, but I'll tolerate people, but I hate most people.
Yeah.
You feel me?
No, that There Will Be Blood. I love that monologue that he's like sitting in the chair trying to sell his shit.
At the beginning podcast. Hell yeah.
So fucking good.
Me and my son HW.
Yeah.
That
telling the
motherfucker.
story
Hell yeah. Anytime he says HW, that shit is so insane.
Fuck. Fucking
when, I don't even know the lie, but when he walks up on fucking Buddy in the restaurant after his son comes back from the school for the deaf or whatever.
Yeah.
And he walks up to dude and he's like, what did he tell him? Not you were wrong, but he says some shit like that. We're like, you fucked up, basically. Look at me now type shit. You know what I mean? And he gives him that whole line. That shit is deep, dog. That motherfucker looks stressed out in that scene.
Yeah.
And it's crazy. I seen a blooper of that. There's like no bloopers of that movie, but there's one fucking scene, and it's that scene where they're sitting in that fucking diner, and he gets them the milk and the whiskey or whatever. Yeah. And he's giving him that fucking death stare across the fucking room. He's looking at Buddy.
Yeah.
And I don't know why, but him and the kid both like break out of character for a second. He starts laughing. But you're just like, how the fuck could he go from like, that dude's going to kill somebody to like laughing with the kid? Yeah. You know what I mean? 2 seconds like that. Yeah. But you could tell the kid was like waiting for him to break character before he did type shit. Yeah. You know what I mean? Where like he was on his P's and fucking Q's, that kid. But you had to be shit.
Yeah. That's a fucking hot film.
I'm trying to think of some shit from Boogie Nights. There's so 50 fucking lines in there. What does he say with the dudes? What's the Asian dude's name that's popping the fucking fireworks? He's like, that's Chad or whatever. He's Chinese. Hits him with that fucking line. Yeah. That's just beautiful.
Oh, damn. Back on Boogie Nights. What is... He's like, no, I can do it again, Jack. I can do
it again, Jack. When what's his name? The dude from Shameless.
Yeah,
I love that motherfucker. Yeah. Just as a character, he's a PTA dude too. That motherfucker will pop up in some shit.
William H.
Macy, that motherfucker there. When his wife's getting fucked in the fucking driveway. Remember that dude's trying to fucking talk to him, and he's just like, my wife's got a cock in her ass on the fucking driveway. I'm like, fuck, that whole shit. Yeah. But I think he botched the line. He says, like, my wife's got a... I don't know. He fucks it up somehow, but, like, they kept that shit in because it made it more natural and funny. You know what I mean? Yeah. That shit's hilarious.
Fucking movie about porn. A movie about making porn just... in general, it's crazy. The back of the porn industry is...
That's you know when it takes like a sharp turn when the 80s hit in the fucking movie, how it goes from like, great, you know, blah, 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 blah. And then it's just like, holy shit. That whole fucking scene where he's like trying to get his brajol hard in the fucking truck when that dude's looking at him and the roller girl's like in the fucking limo trying to fuck her classmate from back in the day or whatever the fuck. That is an uncomfortable fucking scene, bro. If you're sitting there with like... your first date with a chick, and you're watching that, like, shit can get real fucking weird.
It's real Basketball Diaries vibes.
Exactly, bro. I love that kind of shit, though. Like, because that's just the real world. You know? The real world's creepy as fuck.
Rockstar vibes,
too. Hell yeah. I forget about Rockstar, bro. And so that's a gym. I hit in Wahlberg fucking gym. That motherfucker. But he was killing shit in the 90s, bro. Yeah. I want to say PTA offered Dirk Diggler to Leo. Leo was supposed to be Dirk Diggler. Like, I want to say, like, wrote it in mind type shit. Like, Leo was supposed to be Dirk, turned it down for the fucking Titanic. Sealed his fucking... you know what I mean? He sealed his whole shit for that. You know what I mean?
That's a big why at your career right there.
Yeah, that was a right move. It was a right move. Yeah. But supposedly, PTA had watched the Basketball Diaries, a big Basketball Diaries fan. Loved Leo so much, like wrote the shit for him or offered it to him, turned it down. He was like, well, who was that other dude? Wahlberg. That motherfucker killed it. You know what I mean? Gave him the fucking role. But can you imagine, like, Wahlberg is nothing like how he is in Boogie Nights and Basketball Diaries. He's like a shithead fucking Irish dude in Basketball Diaries, you know?
Yeah.
Boogie Nights, he's like a sweetheart that just gets fucking sucked in.
Yeah.
Like, fuck, you know what I mean?
Fuck, and then, like, the whole parent thing.
Dude,
on
the
Boogie
mom,
Nights.
the fucking mom, whoever she is, she pops up in some shit. I think she was in Detroit Rock City, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Okay. That's where I was like, where is this brought from?
City,
yeah,
for sure.
as the mom, or as the anti-mom.
As the anti-mom.
Yeah,
she's in a couple, like, where she's playing the crazy fucking mom, usually. Yeah.
Joanne Gleason?
Fam,
Gleason?
She is a fucking hidden gem.
I think it's Gleason.
She's screaming at him and all that shit, and he's like, you don't know what I can do. Yeah. That whole fucking scene, that shit is deep as fuck. I don't know why I think of, like, because it's their era, I'm sure, but I think of, like, my mom and dad a lot in the first, like, part of that movie when it's like showing the valley and the fucking posters on the wall and, like, that whole shit. Like, I don't know, it's creepy. But yeah, fucking Boogie Nights, dog. You can't say enough good shit about Boogie Nights. When someone, that was the whole thing about the fucking script when it was like blowing up in Hollywood type shit. They were like, this dude is like 21 or whatever the fuck he was. I want to make like a 4-hour movie about porn.
Yeah.
And, you know, at a time when, like, that is fucking so taboo and, you know, the whole fucking thing. And people are like, what? This 20, is he going to pull off a 4-hour fucking porn movie? But they thought it was going to be, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Some other shit. You hear a fucking porn movie, you don't think about all the shit that goes with that.
Yeah. That was, like, one of his first joints that he was in a lot of TV stuff. Mark Wahlberg.
Yeah. This was like, it was like Basketball Diaries and this, bro.
Yeah.
This shit got Mark Wahlberg going, for sure.
That's crazy.
He was, you know, he did the Mark and Mark shit and all that shit. But, like, as far as being, like, a fucking serious actor, a real serious actor, like, this shit was it, bro. Yeah. This shit sealed as that. The best fucking, and I cannot find this shit. I think I've told you about this shit. I can't find the fucking file nowhere, and I can't find the fucking DVD. Or it was the Blu-ray. The Blu-ray, I think, of fucking Boogie Nights. Like, what's the editions that they put out? It's like, they put them in, like,
just different, like,
you know what I mean? Whatever edition.
Collector editions.
Where it's like sealed in the fucking Cinema Hall of Fame, whatever the fuck. One of those had Boogie Nights fucking commentary that they did, like a director's commentary.
Not this?
Does it have the fucking director's commentary on there?
I might. It's got a lot of shit on here.
You might have it in your fucking hand right now, Diaz. But the director's commentary of Boogie Nights. I'm talking about the full one. I think there's two. There's one that's just PTA, and there's one that, like, brings in everybody.
Yeah.
The one that fucking brings in everybody is one of the fucking funniest things you will listen to, period. He's, like, taking a piss on there and doesn't know he's mic'd up.
Oh, okay.
He's drunk. Mark Wahlberg's on there talking about his cock and shit. It's fucking hilarious.
I don't know if it has...
The director's commentary?
It says filmmaker commentaries.
Does it? It might be. Bro.
I just don't see, like, who's in that.
It might be it right there, though.
Yeah, that's crazy. I have to check that out.
That shit is, bro. It's one of those that I've been searching every 6 months. I just fucking go on a little rabbit hole.
2 extended featured length commentaries with writer, director, PTA.
You got them.
A bunch of heads in here. Louis Guzman. Hey, I gotta watch that.
That shit is hilarious.
Is it playing through the movie?
Through the movie.
Okay, cool.
Through the movie, you're just hearing them talk shit. How, you know, that's where I get all my fucking info from, with these commentaries. But yeah, that one is a gem, and you cannot find that file anywhere. Yeah. Period. It's not on YouTube.
I never liked that, the commentary stuff back in the day, and then it's just a podcast.
Me neither. Yeah, exactly. That got me on a whole fucking thing. 10 years ago, a thing switched in me. I'm like, let me check these commentaries. There's a fucking dude on YouTube. Fuck, if I knew the name, I'd shout him out right now. Yeah. But he's got 365 of them motherfuckers. Yeah. I'm anything. The Thing, The Godfather, fucking Apocalypse Now, all that shit on there. But the Boogie Nights is not on there. That's a fucking gem you got right there. Hold on to that.
Let me hit you with this. I'm pulling a lot of questions from our Tarantino venture. Uh-huh. What are some of the best characters from each of the movies? And we can start a little list here. You want to just start with his first joint?
Part 8?
Yeah.
Samuel Jackson, I don't know his name in that motherfucker, but that son of a bitch was great. It was good to see him, bro. Yes.
Good to fucking see him.
Fucking great in that shit. What is his name in there? Is it Sydney? Or no, Sydney's Buddy's name.
Jimmy.
Yeah. Jimmy. That motherfucker in there, bro, is a badass. And I was born, shout out to Reno, Nevada. I was born out there. And like a lot of people, you get like Vegas and people think Reno and they think of Reno 911, but like that shit was filmed in Vegas.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's not how Reno is. Reno's like a little, Northern California is a lot, or Northern Nevada is a lot fucking different than Southern Nevada. You feel me? In Southern California. You're a stone's fucking throw from San Francisco when you're in Reno. You know what I mean? You're up in the mountains and shit. But like that whole seedy vibe of like Samuel L. Jackson gives in that movie where it's like 92, but he's still rocking clothes from the 70s and like on his pimp shit. Like that's a whole thing down there. Yeah. That's a weird city like that. But hell yeah, Samuel he's my character in Hard 8 for sure. Yeah.
And another appearance by Philip Seymour Hoffman right there, right at the fucking jump. Philip Baker Hall is my guy in this one. And I only know him from fucking Seinfeld. Yeah,
Bookman. You got to. Fuck yeah, that motherfucker's a badass. He passed, right?
I think so.
He passed a few years ago.
But bad fucking man.
That dude has been like 65 since I was a little fucking kid. That motherfucker's been the exact same age with the fucking shit hanging under his eyes, the under the eye meat. That dude's had that shit forever, bro. I love him, though. God rest his soul.
Oh, shit. All right, let's move on to Boogie Nights.
Well,
who's your favorite character?
Real shit. I don't know if he's my favorite fucking character, but this dude, his name is, I'm going to pull a fucking blank. I shouldn't even fucking said anything. But the dude who goes and robs the spot with fucking Dirk and John C. Reilly, the dude who was in Deep Blue Sea, he's the main fucking character in Deep Blue Sea.
Is it Thomas Jane?
Todd
Parker? That's what he plays in
that motherfucker flick? Todd in the bro.
Yeah.
There's this part in there when they're robbing the fucking joint and he's like, I want what's under the fucking bed, under the safe, and all that shit. Yeah. And he's like, are you fucking kidding? What's his name? Hits him with the and he's like, no, I'm not kidding. I want that, bro. That shit was real. That fucker was on cocaine. Yeah. I don't care what the fuck you tell me. That shit was real as fuck. Yeah. And when he walks in, he's like, ooh, whose ride is that out there? And he's talking about the fucking Dirk shit to, what's his name? Philip Seymour fucking Hoffman? Yeah. That whole vibe. Yeah, Todd is a badass in that movie. Yeah. But you almost gotta go with Dirk, bro. Dirk's, you could see him from a childish boy to like full-blown coke addict, blew it all, like on the verge of fucking suicide. Yeah. You get everything with Dirk.
He steals the show.
You feel me? You get everything with Dirk. I don't care what nobody. Burt Reynolds, though. That's
I was going to go with Burt Reynolds. That's my take on that. Burt Reynolds and that
motherfucker is a badass. Those are great names. That's a great line. When he hits them with those are great fucking names. That whole shit. Yeah, I love that shit.
Chilling in the jacuzzi.
Hell yeah. Well, great fucking line is when Dirk's like... 5 or 10 or whatever the fuck, you know what I'm saying? 5 to watch me jerk off. That whole shit, that shit is deep. Dog.
Very fucking good film. I love this movie.
Creepy. Everyone was great in it. I can't. There's not a bad performance in fucking.
I feel like this was his epic.
Yeah, for sure. Dog.
Very Tarantino-esque.
Can you imagine though? Like your first fucking movie, I'm gonna just go balls to the fucking wall. Not first movie, but like you know what I mean. Your first big splash. Yeah. I'm going balls to the fucking wall. Yeah. Y'all tried to fuck me with Hard 8. Yeah. I'm coming back twice as hard.
Damn it.
You know what I mean? I'm doubling down. Fuck y'all.
No, I hear you on that.
That shit is player, dog. Half the time, like when I take in like consideration my favorite directors and shit like that, even like my favorite fucking rappers and shit like that, a lot of it's not like, of course it's the content or whatever, but a lot of it's like the person. Yeah. You feel me? There's a lot of like people who, that dude put words together good in a rap song, but like, I don't believe that dude. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
I want the off record, the off tape.
Yeah, exactly. I want the B-side motherfucker. I want the underdog. You feel me? I'm with the fucking underdog. Yeah, you feel me?
I got you. Let's move on to Magnolia. I don't think I've seen it.
Fam.
It's about the birth of Scientology?
No. That's the Master.
The Master?
The Master's of Scientology.
Which one is...
Magnolia is the most depressing fucking movie you will ever watch.
What is that? What's it about? I've never seen it.
It's literally... The whole shit starts off with, like, our coincidences. Like, our coincidence is real, basically. It shows, like, a dude falling out of a building, committing suicide, and someone, like... The dude jumps off the fucking building, and the dude below him is, like, about to shoot his wife. As the dude's falling out the building, he shoots the gun, kills the fucking guy. It's basically just like a little thing at the beginning, like our coincidence is real type shit. But
Again.
To tell you what it's about, it's like, fuck. It's just like a whole bunch of depressing fucking stories, really.
Oh, yeah.
Julianne Moore is like a fucking chick who's dating a guy who's on his deathbed that's like a big-time millionaire, and she knows that she's been fucking this dude for his money the whole time, but like as he's dying, she's like, I love this motherfucker. And like comes to that realization while she's on fucking Prozac and shit.
Yeah.
That's one story. The other one is fucking Tom Cruise is that dude's son who didn't grow up with him and is now a fucking like a motivational speaker. Andrew Tate. You know that dude Andrew Tate? Who's like a misogynist, like motivational speaker?
Yeah.
That's who Tom Cruise is in the Tom Cruise gives a fucking performance and this is my favorite him, period.
Oh,
any Tom Cruise performance, period. And I love fucking Tom Cruise. He's a sleeper. This is him though, bro. That motherfucker like you could see like the you know, he seems like a dude that like holds a lot of shit inside and just gives you like a straight face and he's always smiling and all that shit.
Yeah.
That motherfucker lets out a cry in this fucking movie that is real, bro.
Yeah.
That motherfucker is like thinking about some other shit. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, he goes and like reunites with his dying father and like basically was like, fuck you, you shitted on me, but I love you now. Like, thanks for reaching out. That's one story. There's a kid that's like on a game show that's like a whiz kid. And Philip fucking Baker Hall's like the game show host who's about to die, finds out he's got cancer, I think, or some shit. And he like tells his wife, bro, like he's at home. He's like America's fucking sweetheart. Tells his wife, like, I molested our daughter like a few times I was shit-faced back in the 80s. Like, bro, it is a deep...
What is that even about?
And then the molested daughter is like in her mid-20s now, snorting blow like a fucking savage. John C. Reilly's a cop that happens to like knock on her.
More heat, returning.
And he's great in this shit. He's like he's a deep, funny dude. Yeah, but it's deep. But he like happens to like, and he's like a lost cop that's like never fucked anybody and shit. You know what I mean? And like happens to meet up with this chick who's like just going through it. They hit it. There's like I don't know. It's what's his name's in it, buddy who shoots William
H. Macy.
William H. Macy. Yeah. Is a former whiz kid who like hit it big back in the day, got struck by lightning, and is now dumb.
No shit.
And he's like coming to terms with like, fuck, you know what I'm saying? Like I used to be somebody and all that shit. It's deep, dog. It's a fucking deep, but you'll cry.
But
like
it's separate stories?
Separate stories, but they're all linked. And that's the whole thing is like coincidences aren't coincidences. Or like they're real. Linked. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Does it
like,
have a Tarantino-esque like
cut to it? There's no like reverse shit. There's no like flashback from the past type shit.
But they all just link?
It's just all hitting you at one time. You're going from Philip Seymour Hall to the kid that's on his game show to his daughter to the cop that's running into the daughter.
I got you.
You know what I mean? It's all linked up. But you will be like, what in the fuck was that about when it's done? But there's a famous fucking scene in the movie where like at the end, this is all they talked about when it came out, is the kid's just like sitting here. I guess the whiz kid like read somewhere that sometimes it rains frogs. Apparently, like in Louisiana or some shit, if it gets swapped up in like a whatever storm. Like there's no coincidences where like hundreds of frogs have rained down. And like at the end of the movie when like everything crescendos, everyone comes to their realizations and all that shit, the boy's standing there and the fucking frogs just start raining all over the valley. It's deep, dog.
Shit.
It's a deep movie.
What the fuck is this?
It's a deep movie. It's one of those where at the end you're just like, what the fuck? But like I want to watch that shit again maybe 10 years from now when I got the balls. Because it's one of those where you got to sit there and take a Prozac with you. You feel me?
I just thought of like, I don't know, just came to mind, movement pieces. Like his shit just sounds like very lot of expression. All of his stuff.
And some of it's real subtle and you'll catch it like the second time you watch it, and then a lot of it's like the big crescendo and you know what I mean? Like there will be blood and shit where it's like, you know where this motherfucker's coming from. You feel me?
Damn, that's crazy.
But you gotta watch the Magnolia, you gotta watch it one time in your life. Chelsea, I've like, you gotta watch it, and she's been like, I need to be like in a certain fucking mind state, you know what I mean? For that kind of shit.
Next up on the list, Punch Drunk Love.
One of my all-time favorites, period. I love that shit, dog.
Again, shout out to fucking UNT Media Library for letting me borrow that joint.
That bitch, hell yeah. That, just the visuals, period, in that fucking movie.
Yeah.
I like, this motherfucker used that whole scene that's like a half a fucking damn near like a music video where he's like, she needs me, he needs me.
Yes,
that is my favorite fucking scene in any movie, period. That whole little cut right there, dog. And you know what that's from? That is fucking...
that's like at the very beginning of the film, too.
That is... What's her name, dog? From The Shining. Great performance.
Shelley Duvall?
Shelley Duvall in Popeye.
Yeah.
Singing that song, PTA snatched the song of her singing it in the motion picture Popeye.
Yeah.
And put it in there.
Damn.
That's a bad man, dog. That is a bad mother. That song is not available in the world except for Popeye.
Yeah.
And then Punch
Holy shit. Did not know that.
Shelley Duvall. That's her singing, he needs me, he needs me.
Because I know she was in that film.
That is deep, though, right?
Yeah.
Is that not fucking deep?
God damn. Oh, yeah.
That's the kind of B-side underdog kind of shit I like, bro. Like, who the fuck's gonna watch Popeye of all things? Like, PTA is watching Popeye with his kids and is like, I'm gonna drop that in like my love story. You know what I mean? Like, that's deep, dog.
Damn.
That's fucking deep.
That's crazy.
But yeah, the visuals, the whole shit. Adam Sandler's fucking performance is like second to none, dog. Yeah. I'll put that shit up with anybody. And I know it's like funny and quirky and all that kind of shit. I'll put that shit up with anybody. When that motherfucker's like serious, like on some I love you type shit, like I'll follow you in here and that whole kiss scene, bro. Come on, dog. That shit'll break a grown man down. You feel me?
He's a bad man, dude.
That's a bad motherfucker.
Sure, he's got his jerk off shit. But he's got his hitters.
He could just do whatever the fuck he wants. I think he's just like a quirky dude that can just do whatever the fuck he wants.
Hop in pickup games and fucking make films.
And like Rob Schneider and all them, bro, like they wouldn't fucking be in the spotlight or anything. This dude like carries them on his back. That shit is player, dog. I like that. Again, I like people for who they are type shit, and Adam Sandler is like a golden human.
Happy Madison production.
Come on, dog.
But that's not this.
No.
But that's him.
God bless him, for sure. Yeah. I forgot what... shout out to the Safdie brothers, but like them watching Punch Drunk Love is we're getting Adam in a dramatic role. Yeah. You feel me? Or he's doing that again.
That's the other film that I'm like, he kills
Adam is a fucking savage, bro.
Yeah. I don't know if I want to see Spanglish. I don't know.
I watched it a long time ago, and I think I was a kid and like didn't get what the fuck was going on type shit.
It's really rom-com-y too, I think, right?
Yeah. I didn't. Yeah, I think it's a little too fucking on the nose.
Yeah.
But Punch Drunk Love. It's top 3 for me. Period of all time.
I dig it. Really like
the soundtrack, the whole shit. When he fucking runs back to the shit and kisses her when she opens up the fucking door and shit. Yeah. Sometimes I just like put that shit on. I'm in a shitty mood. I just like put that little fucking scene on. Like fucking life ain't that bad. You know what I mean?
Very weird, but very good movie.
And when he's there's certain shit in the movie. He has a weird way. He's done it in a few movies, but he's got a weird in Licorice Pizza. He did it too, but he's got a weird way of like letting the sun. You know, most people would think it's like a mistake in a movie when like the sun
flares
hits the lens, and it fucks up like that.
Yeah,
but he makes it badass.
Damn,
you know what I'm saying? Like he does it a lot in Punch Drunk Love, and he did it in Licorice Pizza a few times too. I'm trying to think of something else, but I know those two for sure. Where like
he had to have done it in There Will Be Blood.
Yeah, you know the colors in Licorice Pizza or in
the
Punch
blues
Drunk Love
and the reds and
all that shit. There's one scene
shit.
where it's like the camera and it fades all those colors into that flare. Like he must have took the shitty flare shit and like purposely added some color into it and just like went with that through the movie. You know what I mean? That's real shit though.
Let's move on to. I mean, I think this one's easy. We've talked about it a lot, but There Will Be Blood. Who's your Daniel Plainview favorite character? He steals the fucking show.
That motherfucker there. Period. He might be like that. Might be the best performance in my eyes. Period. Humans ever fucking done. Yeah, I think you can get like as good as that. Like other people have done as good as that. But as far as doing better than that, I don't think you can.
Yeah.
You feel me?
Yeah.
Like there's certain shit. It's just that's peak shit.
He kills it the entire fucking time.
The whole shit. That's what I mean. He never needed to open up his mouth.
Yeah.
You feel me? But since he did, his voice is like adds so much shit to it. Like he's a bad man. He chose that. You know what I mean? Yeah. That was a choice to go with that shit.
Really good.
Everything he does is like a choice. Fucking Daniel Day-Lewis. Yeah. Everything he does is like a real deal choice. But I think him and PTA like work fucking great together. They almost had to make that shit. Yeah. You know what I mean?
And he's that dude that just engulfs himself in the character.
Like that motherfucker was probably like sleeping in a tent by a fucking campfire.
That's a heater combo. And you got a fucker like PTA collabing with him.
Who's going to throw both these dudes are all in.
Yes.
You know what I mean? They're going all in. They probably like talked about this shit for 2 years before they made it. You know, and like every fucking I know that I forget what they were talking about. I think there was something on the quail scene when he's going to fucking on the Sunday Ranch for the first time. There was something that went down there where I was just like, I think PTA was talking about it, where he was like, damn, I thought this dude was committed and he's fucking like really, he was like, something about his voice, I think. Yeah. Like, you like this shit, or should we go back and, you know, do this? And he's like, dude, you're fucking murdering this shit right now. Like, fuck going back. You feel me? This shit is Oscar worthy. Yeah. For real.
Shit.
I think that shit had to win an Oscar, no?
I don't know, man. I would.
That shit had to win.
Academy Award winner. Best actor.
Best actor, fuck.
Best cinematography.
Best cinematography.
Hit all those.
That and like I said earlier, that dude Trent Reznor from Nine Inch Nails did the fucking score on this shit, dog. And the score made the fucking movie to me.
Very droney.
You know what I mean? That whole like
reminded me a lot of the shit that Christopher Nolan does with his stuff.
Exactly. Yeah. Fuck yeah. Or it's just like some synth shit almost. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It might be that dude, dog. Trent Reznor. I heard the kid I work with. He was telling me, he was like, "That's not the only one he's done. Like that's what he does now. You know what I mean? Is that kind of shit, scores and shit.
Yeah.
Like that is dope, dog. Can you imagine like? That shit's got to be hard, you feel me? To like just go there, I'm going to fucking put like this synth note with this country western vibe, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it worked?
Yeah.
Like throw some violins and shit in there, like what? Well, Paul Dano and this motherfucker.
Kills it.
Come on, dog.
Kills it.
There's, and for him to like, that was a short notice piece, you know what I mean? Like he was only supposed to be the first dude you see.
Yeah.
He was supposed to be the brother that got away with the $5,000.
Oh, I got you.
And so another dude was the preacher, some like random actor, right? Filmed like whatever. Daniel Day-Lewis wasn't feeling him, and PTA wasn't feeling him. Get the fuck out of here, Daniel. Can you fill in for that on like 2 weeks' notice?
Fuck?
The entire preacher shit. Dano did on like 2 weeks' notice.
No shit.
You think that's not a bad man, dog?
He's committed.
That is a bad motherfucker.
Yeah.
Like he was just supposed to be that dude who's like, there's shit over here. Give me $5,000. I'm on my fucking way.
Yeah.
That was supposed to be his role for this movie. PTA was like, can you step in for this giant thing against Daniel Day-Lewis, opposite Daniel Day-Lewis? And that motherfucker stepped up to the plate like that.
Killed it.
Come on, dog.
Knocked it out the fucking park. Never heard that story.
Yeah,
that's a first on the podcast.
That's real shit right there.
Yeah.
It was like 2 weeks notice, dog.
Damn.
It was like some Apocalypse Now shit where they filmed it with Harvey Keitel and then dropped it. It was that shit.
Yeah.
But like even less time. It was like they were already deep filming. You feel me? Like he had already done half issue.
Yeah. I hope to see him in more Batmans too.
Come on, dog.
Fuck.
That motherfucker. Anything he's in, you know it's going to be good.
That's the only two I've seen him in is that. But
have you seen that movie Prisoners? Write that shit down.
Get on that.
Write that shit down. It was one of those that I like put off. I had seen like too many clips of it on like little cinema shit that I follow on Instagram, and I'm not like the biggest Hugh Jackman guy. You know what I mean? But bro, Paul Dano's excellent in it. Fucking,
he's fire,
dude. Hugh Jackman.
He's fire.
That motherfucker's
committed too. He's in that realm.
If he did not get something for that fucking Prisoners movie, if he didn't win an award for that motherfucker, he definitely deserves it, bro.
He's done a lot of shit.
It's like his daughter gets kidnapped and he's on some like some other shit with it.
Yeah,
bro. Who else is?
I forget how good he is, but he's a bad.
He's a bad man, bro. Like that shit was extra good, and they always point it out. It's always on those cinema things because like his performance specifically in that movie was like on some extra shit. Like he must have had some like somebody in his family go through some shit like that or something because he was deep with it. But yeah, Paul Dano on that shit too was fire, and he's like real subtle in that Prisoners movie. He's like a creepy, he plays creepy good.
Yeah.
Dano, like his head shape or some shit is like good for playing creepy, but he plays like a son that's like almost like a fucking mute. Yeah. But it's like, he did some shit. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like they think that he's the one that got the kid or whatever. But they hold his ass prisoner. And they're like torturing him, and it's dope, though. It's fucking deep. But he's firing that shit too. Motherfucker he like locks him in the thing, turns the scalding hot water on his bitch ass. It's deep, though. And Dano's in that bitch like screaming, acting up. Fire.
I have to check it.
I just watched it like 3 months ago.
Freaks and Geeks, you're getting fucking hot wrecks here. Hot film wrecks.
Take these fucking, take these and run with them. Straight up.
Next up, The Master.
The Master. That's one of them that you got to watch 16 times to get the full effect.
Very detailed.
You feel me? But like, as far as performance-wise and cinematography, that kind of shit, like, he's got a thing for, he's almost like Kubrick with everything's got to be like real. He'll always have like one shot where shit's centered.
Yeah.
You know, and like Joaquin when he's drunk on top of that ship.
Yeah.
Laid down and like all the dudes are laid out on the ship, but the ship's still going. Like all that kind of shit. That shit's fire, dog. Yeah. And Kubrick, that's what you like about Kubrick. He's always got like a scene where
big shot.
Everything's going to the middle.
Yeah.
Like you're looking right here, but like all this shit is set up so perfect. There's not like an inch one way or the other way. Everything is set up perfect. He's got a lot of that shit going on. A lot of those long, drawn out shots. You feel me? But the Master, bro, fucking performance wise, is fire as fuck. Have you seen it? Seen it, right?
Oddly enough, I want to say when I was starting the fucking podcast, I watched it like within that month.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
No shit.
So a little shout out to that.
Shit. Hell yeah. Fuck
it was good though. Joaquin kills
Joaquin,
it. Fucking.
Come on, fam. He was
Seymour
great in
Hoffman
the Joker, and
it.
everyone gives him all that shit. But like the Master is his performance to me. You
really
know what I mean?
Fucking good.
The way that motherfucker's holding his back the whole time and all that kind of shit. Like none of that shit is real. I've heard PTA talk about it. He was like, he came in there with all that shit. That wasn't me. Like your character needs to be some dude who's like hunched over all the time and shit. He was like, no, he came in with that on.
No shit.
You know what I mean? Like that was his shit.
God
that's why,
damn.
and that's what you gotta love about PTA. Like he'll let a motherfucker
go with his stuff,
take some shit. You know what I mean? Like I respect the dudes who like I want it done this way exactly. Like supposedly The Sopranos, there was like no ad-libbing anything. Like they wanted everything said exactly on The Sopranos,
straight and narrow,
like down to the fucking whatever's. You know?
Yeah.
But I like a dude that can like, you didn't say that how I wrote that, but like. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm letting you run with that shit. You feel me? If you can keep up with it.
Yeah.
That's the whole thing. It's got to be a badass actor that's doing it. Because there's a lot of dudes that try to fake the fucking funk and throw some shit on in a movie, and you could tell it's like some bullshit.
Yeah.
That's what I mean about Daniel Day-Lewis and There Will Be Blood. Like, a lot of actors, when someone makes like a transformation in a fucking movie, you don't believe that they're still that same core person the whole time. You know, by the end, it's like their whole life has changed and everything's completely different and they're not that human no more. But that's not real life. You still got the shit that you grew up with, those formative shit in your life.
Yeah.
This dude, like, no matter what was going on, whether he was making it, whether he was poor or whatever, whether he was fucking somebody over or happy even, like, he still had that, like, fuck you shit in his eyes. Grit. You feel me?
Yeah.
And you always felt that from the beginning to the
entire
fucking
film.
When he grabs the kid that's not his at the fucking beginning and runs with them.
Yeah.
You feel me? Like you knew that was some like, I'm taking care of this kid, but you just seen on him without him saying a fucking word, like he's gonna use this fucking kid to his advantage. You feel me? Yeah. And then at the end for him to just like completely shit on him and call him a bastard in a fucking basket, like come on, dog. That's a fucking line. If a motherfucker calls you a bastard in a basket, that's some shit, dog. You know what I mean? That's some shame fucking Game of Thrones shit. You know
for sure. No, that's
and send you on your way. Fuck that.
Such a good film. Kills it the entire way. Let's see.
The whole the master the whole the Scientology angle of that is deep.
Yeah.
It's fucking deep. Like when Buddy he's in the he's like doing the shit with some old lady, like giving her the whole rundown and like all those people are around him in that fucking room. And Buddy like calls him out on his shit. There's some like random dude who's like talking or listening to him while he's talking. And he like calls him out like, I thought you said that it was time travel or whatever the fuck. And he like calls him out and Philip Seymour Hoffman goes from like trying to keep it cool and then he calls him a pig fuck like as loud as possible, like with a red ass face. That shit was crazy, dog. That shit's I remember the first time I watched The Master. I don't know if I fucking like drank too much or some shit, but I remember like waking up shitty, like one of those mornings, like on a Sunday where you just like wake up by yourself and you're like, fuck, I feel like shit. You know what I mean? Went and got a P. Terry's burger.
All right.
Shout out to Austin, Texas. Went and got a P. Terry's burger, came home, grubbed, and just like laid on the fucking couch, like blanket up. And I'm not that dude. I don't like take naps during the day, none of that shit.
Yeah.
Blanket up. The whole fucking deal was just like, Paul Thomas Anderson dropped it. It was already out, and I had like heard some shit. I didn't know it was PTA though, but I had heard on the podcast like Tony and Hinchcliffe and them like a long time ago.
Yeah.
When they were still on the Death Squad shit. Them talking about, man, have y'all heard that Master movie, The Master, Joaquin and all that? And I always like Joaquin. But I remember just like soaking that shit in. A lot of people, it'll take like 50 times to watch that shit. And it took me a few times, but like I think I was so like in one of those moods where fuck the world, I'm zoned in watching this shit right now.
Yeah.
Like I got what I got from it. Yeah. And people could say whatever the fuck it's about 50 fucking times, and I can't sit here and explain what it's about and all that shit. But like I got something from that shit.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Film.
I fucking took something away from that shit.
Deep film.
That redhead chick that's singing to him at the fucking in, the one that like Joaquin's in love with, that he's like talking about every time that they're like, you're his happy place and all that kind of shit, like is with her. She's a silent fucking killer too, bro. And she was in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. She was one of the chicks that stabbed or was going to kill him at the end.
Erica Sullivan?
Is that her name?
Yeah.
She's Irish as fuck. That sounds like her.
Yeah, I think so.
But she reminds me of my cousin Megan. But there's like a part where it's a close up again on her fucking face when she's singing that fucking Slow Boat to China shit.
Yeah.
And I think Philip Seymour Hoffman's like singing it quasi, whatever the fuck. But that shit was deep. That's one of those fucking deep ass movies. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree.
And when Buddy like just takes off on the motorcycle, you know what I mean? And he just like sends him on his way. Like we never see Joaquin. Like what? That shit is deep, dog. You know what I mean? There's probably like 50 fucking symbolism and
so
all that kind
shit.
of shit. You know what I mean? But like, you just take whatever the fuck you can from it.
Yeah. The first Joaquin appearance we get.
That motherfucker there, bro. I don't think there's gonna be like, who's gonna be the guy that like does that kind of shit after he's gone?
I don't know, man.
Who's the creepy dude? Like, who's the one that could like take it there? I feel like these motherfuckers are lacking like commitment now or some shit. You know what I mean?
He's aging well though. But he's like one of the last of them.
That's what I'm saying. Like once him and Leo and shit are like in their 50s, who's gonna be like their
predecessors?
You know what I mean? They were taking like De Niro in them spot. Like who's after them?
Hopefully Shia takes off.
Yeah, Shia's always fire, bro. But like he's got to keep it together in his real life. You know what I mean? A little bit. But yeah, I always wonder that shit. Like Chels tells me there's some. He's got a French name. I forget his name. He's like a little skinny dude that's supposedly good. I forget his fucking name. Charlemagne or some shit like that. Charlemagne or something. I don't know, but yeah, she gives me a couple dudes, but I'm like, oh, they look whack to me.
Yeah,
these dudes don't look like they've been through some shit.
Yes,
you know what I'm saying? Like I want to see my actor. I want some shit in their eyes. You know what I mean? Even like a dude like Leo, when people would shit on him, like when we were growing up, there was always the older dudes like he's just a fucking pretty face. But you could always see that like Leo he'd been through some shit or seen some shit.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? And just the choices that he would make, like for him to drop Basketball Diaries right away after, you know what I mean? Like, come on, dog. Go from that to the Titanic and then fucking, you know what I mean? Like he knows where to go.
What's Eating Gilbert Grape?
Come on, fam. Like he went from the Titanic and then was like, I'm here and I'm on every fucking teen magazine and shit like that. I forget the dude's name that made Train Spotting. You ever seen that shit?
I think so.
He's an English actor. He's all heroin down and shit. He made that movie The Beach that I fucking love with him in it. Leo's like, I'm up here with this shit. I want to make the most independent movie. Send me to Thailand for fucking, it was just like, I'm going to the beach.
Crazy.
And like that shit flopped, like commercially and all that shit. But he was like, that's one of my favorite fucking memories I have. Is, you know what I mean? Being like, fuck the world. I'm going to Thailand for fucking 6 months. You feel me? I like that kind of shit though, dog.
I see it.
But yeah, him and Joaquin, like they age like fucking fine wine.
Yeah.
They were always doing like great shit. But it seems like the older they get, like the better choices they're making and shit. Like, you know what I mean?
So we follow the master with Inherent Vice, which is another Joaquin joint. Back-to-back Joaquin joints?
Back-to-back Joaquin. I respect the fuck out of it. It's visually beautiful and shit. But I've only seen it one time and I didn't get it.
Neither did I.
I missed it completely. My wife we had just had our daughter. I want to say I was like cooking or something the first time I watched it. And I just, with PTA, you really got to be sitting there locked in. You feel me? And I wasn't locked in the first time I watched it.
Yeah.
But it seems like I want to say I gave it a second try and still didn't get it.
Yeah. I bought it off something weird. I don't know. I bought it just secondhand and I held on to it for a fucking long time. And then I popped it in the first time and I was like, this is hard to fucking get through.
This was the first I was telling you earlier before we started the podcast, I was always like, I had seen PTA's movies as they were coming out without connecting that they were all Paul Thomas Anderson movies.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then this one was the one that like, okay, the master fucking like wrapped me up and put a fucking bow on me. This was the one that I knew was coming out. I knew was Paul Thomas Anderson. I'm all in and all that shit. And then I was just like disappointed.
Did you see it in the theaters?
Yeah, but that was the one fucking, or no. I watched it in the theaters, fell asleep.
Yeah.
3/4 in.
Yeah.
Gave it the rewatch while I was cooking with my daughter and still didn't get it with the rewatch.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's one of those. And I was so disappointed because I'm like, Joaquin, again with PTA. He looks like there's weed involved. Like,
Should
like
be
a
good.
little,
Colors look good. Everything
I thought it was going to be like, fucking almost like Dragnet, like on fucking mushrooms or something. Like I thought it was going to be like a hippie, like crime thriller with some quirky shit and like he's high and like, but it was like, I didn't get the story of it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I didn't connect all the fucking dots.
I just think it's a dude just getting high the entire time.
And he's just like lost and shit. Yeah, like so. I didn't get it.
It's hard to get.
That's the one. And like I said, it's visually fucking awesome. And they brought back what's his name from SNL? What's the buddy who played Garth in fucking Wayne's World?
Oh, Martin. Is it Martin
Sheen? Or no, Martin Shore.
Is it Martin Shore?
Martin Shore. They bring Martin Shore. Yeah, that's him.
Wayne's World.
Yeah, that's him. Right?
No, that's somebody. That's Dana Carvey. But they got Martin Short.
They got Martin Short in here. I'm confused.
Yeah, it's all good.
They got, you knew who I was talking about. They kind of like this thing. But they bring him back, and he killed the little scene he was in. That's the one scene I remember. Like, what the fuck? They brought Buddy back and shit, and he did his little thing in there. But like I said, I couldn't connect the dots. And for me to like thoroughly enjoy something, I got to be able to take something away from it for me. You know what I mean? And I couldn't take away shit from this.
Yeah.
Not saying it's not great. I'm sure there's people that love it or whatever the fuck. But that's his one. That I'm like, I pretend that one don't exist. You know what I mean?
So this one I didn't watch, and this one he did it. It's a documentary though. It's called Junoon. It's about like a musician.
An Asian dude, right?
I think so. Yeah.
I never seen it. I've always seen it like when it came out. I remember seeing it all over I Love Video. Like they blew it out like it was supposed to be some big thing, but I didn't know it was PTA. I just remember seeing the thing, and then I remember later on.
It's dope that'll do a documentary. That's very Scorsese,
exactly, where he'll just throw some shit in there you don't even expect it, and it just pops up and you're like, what? Scorsese did the Rolling Stones? Like, you know what I mean? Like, you don't even put that shit together until it happens.
That's cool. I dig that. So, I mean, I can't talk on it, but it's all good. It's something I want to watch. So, Freaks and Geeks, if you've seen that movie, the PTA documentary, I don't want to butcher the pronunciation, so I'm not, but it's like it dropped in 2015. Let me know. Let me know what you think about that. Next one up, Phantom Thread.
Phantom Thread. That was a sleeper.
We were talking about it earlier.
I held off on it for a while, just like thinking it was going to be some other shit. You know, I'm not into fucking some fashion shit in the fucking 1800s or whatever the fuck 1900s, but so I held off for a second. I wanted to be in the right fucking spot to watch it. But when I did, I dropped on Netflix. And when it came out on Netflix and they were like throwing it up heavy, I was like, okay, this shit is calling my name now. I got to finally do it. And knowing it was Daniel Day-Lewis's last movie, like he announced that shit beforehand, like this is going to be it, you know? I wanted to savor that shit. Yeah. And I'm fucking glad I did, bro. Because it was one of those sleeper movies where you...
So that's his last piece?
That's his last piece.
I got to... Okay, I got to finish it.
That's his last piece, and he's like, this is it for me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And he knew it was going to be PTA. I know for sure they talked about this shit like at least a year beforehand. Like, this is what it's going to be. I'm down with it. Give me this. You know what I mean? It was like a thing that they cultivated together type shit. But he gives a fucking hell of a performance. Like, not... he's like the most... fucking waspy dude. Like he's real like uppity and bitch, my shit is my way. Like, what the fuck are you doing here? Well, you know what I'm saying? He's that dude like to the fucking T though. Yeah. And like a dude that you believe earned that spot. Yeah. You feel me? That's the whole thing about it. There's people who play the, you know, like in the Titanic, you see the motherfuckers that are like, oh, we're waspy and yeah, we're out here, whatever the fuck. But this dude is like, no, bitch, I came from nothing. I got here. And you're going to listen to my shit now. Like, fuck what you're talking about. I got myself here. You know what I mean? This is what I want. Yeah. Yeah. He was almost like a not so fucking weird Kanye where it's just like, I only want y'all agreeing with me. Yeah. If not, then get the fuck out of here type shit. And the whole shit is like him marrying that chick. And like the vibe goes from like, she's thinking it's going to be some fairy tale. This dude's a seamstress. You know what I mean? She's from a foreign place. And it ends up him being like, no, bitch, I treat you like my fucking... servant type shit where like, bitch, you have my shit, this porridge is cold, motherfucker. Like, what the fuck you know what I mean? That kind of shit. That. But it ends up, I ain't gonna spoil it for nobody, but like she's on her own, like, oh yeah, you wanna play that type shit? You know what I mean? But the ending brings that shit all together. Yeah. But I'll tell you off air because I ain't gonna spoil this shit. Yeah. Let's move on to favorite character for well, hold on. We talked about it briefly. So Phantom Thread 2017 and I think that's Anima. It's that musical short that he did in 2019. I never really seen that weird. One. Check it out. I never seen that one. Netflix joint. It's probably like 15 to like 20 something minutes. When I went to look him up, I think I was gonna rewatch Phantom Thread. Yeah. when I pulled his name up, it brought that up. I'm like, well, he did this little doc. Yeah, I didn't know nothing about it.
Yeah,
I know he directed some music videos and shit, but
a lot of music videos. Yeah.
I want to say like damn near all of those Haim girls. The girl that was in Licorice Pizza, like I think they're like tight, and that's why
the lead.
Yeah, the lead.
Oh no shit!
Yeah,
So
she's the Haim chick.
Okay.
And her sisters in the movie and the parents in the movie are her parents and her sisters.
Oh shit!
Real shit. He's like, that's what I mean. Another cool motherfucker who's like, bitch, I'm gonna make you a star.
Damn.
Like, you're spunky. I like your whole shit.
Yeah.
Let's throw you in this.
So let's jump into that one. Licorice Pizza. Who's your favorite on that joint?
I almost got to go with Bradley Cooper. That motherfucker stole the show for me. And that's a real dude. Have you looked up the real dude?
No.
Look up Barbra Streisand's dude. I forget his fucking name. But he is like the outfits he's wearing in there were like real outfits the dude was wearing, the haircut, and he was a real piece of shit like that too.
No shit.
I looked into the whole fucking thing after. I was like, who the fuck is this dude? You know, but he was a real piece of garbage.
Yeah.
He was an Irish dude. I forget his fucking name. But that motherfucker stole the show for me. But what's his name, son? Hoffman?
Yeah.
That
Kills
kid.
it. Beautiful.
And what's her name? I forget her fucking name. And her name in the movie is her name in real life. I forget.
What the fuck is it?
Some with an L, I think.
Elena?
Elena, yeah.
Elena. I'll have to check that out.
She fucking murdered it. For no acting experience whatsoever.
Yeah.
I'm just a badass bitch in a band with my sisters.
Yeah.
I'm going to drop this shit? Like, come on, dog.
I'm gonna check
That
that
shit
out.
is fire as fuck.
See more of her stuff.
Hey, what's his name was fucking dope in
Who's
this
that?
shit, though. What's his name?
Tom Waits?
Tom Waits fucking stole the show in this motherfucker. Hell yeah, dog. Am I bullshitting? That motherfucker stole the show.
Kills
dog. Hell yeah. What is it? Get the fucking gasoline and meet me on fucking hole number 3 or whatever the fuck. That shit was
out
real.
there.
That's a real dude, though.
Yeah,
That's a real dude. A lot of people shit on him and shit because he's like a weird, he's always been like a weird dude. You know what I mean? But he's a real one.
Let me tell you this. Whenever you can catch this, shout out to fucking Tom Waits. Hey, what did he drop? He dropped Chocolate Jesus. Fire.
Jesus.
It's one of his tracks. Chocolate Jesus. He's got another one called Going Out West. You ever listen to his shit?
I've heard some of his shit. I couldn't tell you like the names of the songs, but I know
Chocolate Jesus is
he's playing the piano and shit.
Yeah. But this is in Freaks and Geeks. If you ever get your hands on this, Ace Austin City Limits Live did the one where they put the Capitol display. The one KL or no. I think it's KLR. No, not KLRU.
They used to
PBS.
they drop it on the fucking. It used to be on like cable or whatever the fuck on like the local.
PBS does this Austin City Limits Live, and he's only done one appearance on that motherfucker way back when, long time ago, and they don't usually show it a lot. But if you can find that, I'm sure it's on YouTube. Tom Waits' ACL Live appearance.
No shit.
Yes.
He seems like he'd throw down in Austin.
Not ACL Live. Tom Waits. Fuck. What is it? PBS. It's Austin City Limits. Live at Austin City Limits or some shit.
I know what you're talking. They used to play it on like the local channel. They living in Austin. You put it on like 2 or whatever.
They're
the fuck
always throwing little music and
shit
shit on there.
Yeah.
But yeah, his appearance on that is so fire.
Shit.
He went through a solid fucking 7 to 10 packs of burners dude, in that entire fucking set, just burning them hot.
He's one of those dudes.
He's a big smoker.
He writes that into whatever movie he's in. He's got to have a fucking cigarette involved.
Big Bob Dylan friend too.
No shit.
Huge friend of Bob Dylan.
He killed fucking Bram Stoker's Dracula too. You remember him?
He was in that joint?
Bro, he was like the creepy prisoner dude who was like eating the cockroaches.
Yes.
In that movie, you know, of course, fucking Dracula and all that shit, and they stick in your mind. But like when I was a fucking kid, the first time I watched that, him eating that cockroach and being that creepy fuck in that cell, that stuck with me, bro.
Yeah.
Like I remember having fucking dreams and nightmares about that shit. You know what I mean?
I'll send you some shit on Tom Waits.
Yeah, do that. He's a bad motherfucker. And I gotta get into him. I've listened to some shit and I've always been like, that shit sounded dope because he's always like giving his all and like throwing some weird he's vocal shit in there.
He's not much of a guitarist. He's more of a vocalist, and I think he plays the little keys. And whatnot.
He plays the little keys. I've seen him play some keys, but he does like a lot of like spoken word type shit, right?
A lot of spoken word shit.
I've seen that shit before where there's no music involved. He's just like up there bullshitting and like killing it.
You'll like one of the highlights of that concert that he did was some shit like
him
that.
Going on a fucking
it was
rant.
him on like a fucking old street light that they just put, and he's just chilling, smoking. It's fire. I'll see if I can send that to you.
He's always got like a good hat on too, like a good fucking bowler hat or some shit. You know what I mean?
He's dope as shit.
Sean Penn fucking killed Licorice Pizza too.
Oh, yeah?
Opposite fucking
Yeah.
Tom Waits. Remember
Yeah.
he's fucking talking to him at the fucking... You know who was dope though? I don't know her name, and I've seen her in a few things since. She's the lady who's like the talent scout, or like the manager lady when what's her name's trying to get a manager.
I only seen it once. I forget.
She's sitting there smoking a cigarette, and the camera's like way up on her face the whole time. She's an older white lady, but she's the one that keeps telling me, "You have a very Jewish nose."
Yeah.
You remember that shit?
Yeah.
That lady right there, bro.
You talking Maya Rudolph?
I don't. No, not Maya Rudolph. No. You know, shout out to PTA. He's married to Maya Rudolph.
Oh, no shit. Okay.
Kids together the whole
Yeah.
day. And what was her fucking name that he kicked out of the car? I'm still trying to think of that shit, dog. Damn it. Fiona Apple.
He's done a lot of shit with her.
Fiona Apple.
Okay.
He dated her, kicked her out of a car.
Crazy, because he did a lot of stuff with her. A lot of music videos of her. Yeah.
Yep.
All right, right there.
And that makes him and Brian Callen, like, what do they call it when they both
Eskimo brothers,
yeah,
something like that?
Brothers. Yeah. They both were with Fiona.
I only know that terminology because of Boogie Nights. So, shout out to him.
Oh, shit.
But that's Licorice Pizza, dude. Yeah.
Licorice Pizza, bro, that was my movie, though.
Yeah.
It still is. That's,
it was good.
That's one of those, I don't know, I must have been in, like, a good spot when I seen it or some shit, because it's one of those that, like, stuck with me. You feel me?
Yeah.
The whole scene when the Let Me Roll It, when that shit's fucking playing and they both lay on the fucking waterbed together, the hands touch, that whole scene. Yeah. The fact that he goes, Hoffman's fucking kid, goes to reach to touch her tits and doesn't.
Yes.
That's real shit,
He was so player. He tried to be the biggest player ever.
That is real shit, though. But the fact that he didn't touch him.
Yeah.
That's real shit. That's some young boy, like, I want to go there. I'm not going to go. You know what I mean? That's some real life shit.
Yeah.
Supposedly that's like PTA's, like, not his childhood. It's like based on like one of his best friends' childhood. Okay. But like with his shit and like the way he's seen the world. Yeah. But through his good friend. Yeah. You know what I mean? Who was like a little half kid actor and all that kind of shit. A great fucking movie.
So, what's your favorite PTA film setting? You got a bunch of joints. They're very similar, though.
I was going to say, a lot of them are the Valley.
Yeah.
Fucking Magnolia, Punch Drunk Love, Boogie Nights, they're all the Valley. Yeah. I'd say Boogie Nights, dog. The Boogie Nights version of the Valley where it's like 70s blow and like that whole shit. Like that's a scene and a half. Yeah. You know what I mean? And when the haircuts start changing and the blow gets a little worse, and you know what I mean? Like that's a whole scene. Yeah. That and There Will Be Blood are the first thing that come to mind. Beautiful. You know what I mean? Yeah. That whole desert, like, bitch, I'm about to take over, fuck y'all type shit. There Will Be Blood. Yeah.
Yeah, man, I definitely say that There Will Be Blood setting is one of my favorites as well. So I definitely agree with you all the way.
And you get to you've been there to Marfa and
shit. Yeah, that's that area, right?
Yeah, that's that area. Like fucking 70% of that shit is Marfa.
That's crazy.
Know what I mean? But another good one is Punch Drunk Love when they're in Hawaii, bro. Mm-hmm. That whole little shit in Hawaii, I think they're in, my brother-in-law was stationed, I forget where he was stationed, Oahu. Okay. He was stationed in Oahu, right? Yeah. I found out on Instagram that the scene where they meet up in the fucking thing.
It's a lot of love.
It's in Oahu at, I forget what hotel it is. I fucking write my brother-in-law, I'm like, this is going to sound crazy. Probably never seen this shit. You know what I mean? But one of my favorite movies is, and he was like, bro, we eat there all the time. Like eat at that hotel where I was like, bro, that shit is crazy. Like you got to film. And of course I like hashtagged it on Instagram and there's like 3 million couples that have like met up right there to take that picture. You know what I mean? But I thought that shit was fire.
On a side note, do you fuck with any YouTubers that like go and do that shit? They'll go to
different movie spots.
Yeah. Film locations.
I've seen that shit. I follow, there's some chick on, I just know she's a chick because they're dumb when she's holding up the pictures. But I found it through one of those cinema pages, and she'll take like a print of just something random. It could be like she was just in where Star Wars Episode 1 was filmed. Mm-hmm. It's like in some African country. I don't even know, like Northern Africa somewhere. Yeah. But those little huts and shit that like Anakin's at, like that whole shit is like a real town. You know what I mean? And she takes like a little print of like a random part of a movie, and she just like holds it up in the perfect position. Cool. You seen that shit? Yeah, like she does that shit a lot. I'm like, damn, she makes a living off that shit.
Going off that Star Wars thing, like the OG village they built was like abandoned too.
Was it really?
And like even back to the fucking Shelley Duvall, Popeye, that village is abandoned as well.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
See, I've seen the random
Yeah.
videos on YouTube.
I'll
Where
watch
it's like,
all
I'll
that shit,
visit. That
dude.
shit is dope,
Yeah.
dog. Or like they'll go to the. I fuck with another one. Side note, nothing to do with movies, but this dude goes from. I'm really into mob shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But he goes from like different crime scenes, but like all mob specific, and some
That's
of them are
dope.
like. You know, back in the fucking Crazy Joe Gallo days.
Yeah.
Some of them are that, but a lot of them are like, hey, you might not even have heard of this shit in the news, but 3 years ago, this dude got murdered in front of this, and it was some mob shit, and he'll like go there and show you, you know what I mean? He'll show you the Henry Hill house, or this is where
I'll have to
fucking
check that out. I'm down
Jimmy
with that.
Conway lived. You know what I mean? That
that's
kind of
sick.
shit. And current shit. But it's always him driving, bro. It's just like him in a car giving you the story, and then he goes to the location and gives you the rundown over there. But I think he started off with like maybe like the Charlie Manson house or like, you know what I mean, Cielo Drive, that whole shit. And then just like worked his way into like straight mob shit now.
Yeah.
But it's like, it's dope though. It's
I'll have
like,
to
he
check
like
that
went
out.
out to Sicily and this is where Lucky Luciano lived when he was back in Sicily. You know, that kind of shit. It's
I
dope.
love that historian documentary
Fuck yeah,
shit
dog.
type
and
shit.
a lot of
They're
the
doing
shit,
it.
what's cool about it is he'll be like, he'll show you a fucking Walgreens in the Bronx. And you're just like, that's where they found 6 bodies from fucking Jimmy Conway.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But it's like, it's a completely different thing now.
Yeah.
You know, they've knocked down the fucking bar that used to be there and it's a fucking church now or something. You know what I mean? Wild shit. Like the bar, I don't know if it was the Gemini Lounge or one of those lounges that John Gotti was like the dude at. It's like a fucking place for nuns now. It's not the church, but it's like the nun hut.
Yeah.
They like, you know what I mean? Like how many bodies were like in that motherfucker? You know, that kind of shit. Like what?
Yeah.
I like that kind of shit though.
Yeah, no, I dig it. Me too. Little.
If you could make a living off of doing shit like that, bro, on YouTube,
people
all you're
doing
doing
it.
is like, that shit is that's badass.
Yeah. Let's close it out with this final question right here because we've been going for a minute. What is your favorite PTA film?
It's a fucking toss up between There Will Be Blood and Boogie Nights.
Yeah.
They're both neck and neck.
And opposite sides of the coin.
Exactly.
Too.
That's the beautiful. Every PTA movie is gonna have some characteristics that are the same, like the cinematography, like I said, the little chiming music, and all that kind of shit. But the subject matter, even though it all kind of like results to some creepy shit.
Yeah.
He'll hit you with like a punch drunk love where you're just like, it's got the creepy element where he's fucking on the phone line, the sex phone line,
Freaking out.
and that whole kind of shit. But like, bro, that and There Will Be Blood were made by the same people.
Yeah.
That's nuts, dog.
Crazy.
You know what I mean? That's fucking... And Boogie Nights, There Will Be Blood, and Punch Drunk Love were made by the same dude.
Yeah.
That's not crazy?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it's different to go to, like, a different genre. This dude made a Western, or this dude made a fucking crime flick, or whatever. But, like, that's a completely different vibe. You know what I mean?
And then all that other stuff, you know?
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
Then you'll
crazy.
throw in the Master in there.
Yeah.
On some Scientology shit. Like, how does he... It's one thing to read up on Scientology, but how do you fucking write your own script, weave it
Adaptation.
into some shit, and like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And with the message that ain't got nothing to really do with the like, you know, that's the whole trippy thing about all these writers and shit. I respect a dude that I respect a writer director more than I respect just a director.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because like you get their whole vibe.
Oh, for sure.
You feel me?
Their whole
Unless
view,
it's someone who's like a Kubrick, where like he didn't write the fucking Shining, but like he's going to make it his way.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Regardless, it might not be on black and white writing, but like he's gonna do it his fucking way.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If he wants you to pause for 3 minutes and just look in the fucking camera, like that's what's gonna happen right there. Even if it's not in the writing or whatever the fuck, like that's what it's going off a feeling. You know what I mean? There's a lot of that shit, and you could tell. Like in the good movies, like I said, like you watch Goodfellas, you know those fuckers were having a good time when they were filming, they're laughing and shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They're having a good fucking time. Somebody's really cracking a joke right there and shit. You know what I mean?
I get you.
Yeah.
I would also say that those are two of my favorites, but I'll put I'll change it up again. There Will Be Blood and Punch Drunk Love.
I'm gonna say that I was gonna say too, like Punch Drunk Love is like fucking cunt hair away from those two. You know what I mean?
Boogie
Like
Nights is just too good too.
That's what I'm saying. When it's hard to like. All these movies are like 4 hours long too, bro.
Yeah.
That's the whole thing. Like
Long
these are
action.
great movies, and they're also like long as fuck. And you're watching the whole. You watch like 3 movies in Boogie Nights.
Yeah.
You feel me?
Phases,
Boogie Nights
relax
is
and
3 like whole separate fucking things, and they're all good, and you're interested the whole time.
Yeah.
That's hard to fucking do, dog.
Yeah.
That's really hard to fucking do. You know what I mean?
Gotcha.
Even with the dude you love, that's hard to fucking do.
Yeah.
But yeah, God bless PTA.
Yeah, we'll see what he's going to come out with next.
I have no idea. He's one of those dudes that's like, you don't hear about him for 5 years, and then you're just like, what? PTA's dropping something? You don't even know he's filming it. You know what I mean? He's one of those dudes. But I respect that kind of shit.
It's good stuff. I love talking fucking films with you, dude.
Hell yeah, I love you, motherfucker.
It's all fucking shit.
Fuck yeah, I could do this shit all day. But yeah, we're getting The Sopranos. We're doing this shit. We're giving this motherfucker a run.
I'd kind of like to talk De Niro next.
Come on,
why
dog.
not just
Fuck
fucking
yeah,
open
just
it
go
up
for
like
it.
that?
Come on, dog. Fuck yeah, I could do that all day.
That'd
you
be
know
good.
Me. You know
Love
me.
that. Love that. That might be what's happening.
My daughter was just looking. She was admiring your fucking Taxi Driver action figure a few minutes ago. It was somewhere
I'm trying to hang that up somewhere.
That shit was
Gotta
fire.
put that up. You know, they made a video game of that. It
Taxi
never
Driver?
got released though. I watched another YouTube fucking doc about the Taxi Driver game, and it was around the time where they were doing a lot of like cinema movie games, The Godfather,
and shit.
Scarface, and all that
they
shit.
just threw that one in
yeah,
there? No
and they were
shit.
trying to pull that.
What were they gonna do? Is this him murdering pimps or what?
It was supposed to be a sequel to the movie, and it wasn't. I want to say it was slightly backed by Scorsese, and then
He probably backed out.
Yeah, he didn't want nothing to do with it at all. Yeah.
Well, God bless him.
But there's a lot of shit like that it's already developed. There's like a half a fucking game that you can
no
play.
shit. That's the crazy thing. There's a lot of that, bro, where it's like
Yeah.
they were 3/4 of the way in and just didn't go got pulled the plug on or whatever.
Yeah.
But like, there's a lot of games where they're not fully made yet.
Yeah.
But you could see them where it's like you see what they were doing with the shit. You know what I mean? That's crazy. I never heard the Taxi Driver shit.
Yeah, that's a little hidden gem there.
That's fire.
So, where can the Freaks and Geeks find you, Trent?
At Below the Belt Boxing on Instagram if you're a boxing head. You can also find me When the Smoke Clears Boxing on YouTube. I'm trying to rack up that YouTube shit.
All right.
Yeah, get on there.
All right.
I got like 50-something thousand fucking views on my last video, so y'all go rack that up. I need some likes and shit though. I need some follows, some subscriptions and shit. You know what I mean? It's one
comments,
thing to
all
be
that
seen,
shit.
but yeah. Run
Show
that
the
shit
love.
up.
Show the
Run that
love.
shit up.
We got people out here trying to create.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? So
That's right.
get in there.
And I'm an amateur at it, but I'm sticking with it.
Yeah,
You know
that's
what I
where
mean?
you got to start somewhere. Everybody's got to start
That's
somewhere.
right.
All right, man. Well, appreciate you. I'm gonna close this joint out real quick.
Thanks
and
for
then
having me.
Thank you so much.
Love
We'll
you.
be back. We'll
That's
fucking
right.
be
That's
back.
right.
All right, Freaks and Geeks. That's all she wrote. Once again, shout out to our guest for the episode number 36, Trent motherfucking Albert, coming through. Once again, talking more films. He'll be back. Remember, new episodes of the podcast are released every Wednesday at 6 a.m. Now check it out. Do me a favor. Like Trent was talking about, go fucking like and subscribe and follow to the podcast. Follow to his YouTube page. Follow him on Instagram. Shout us out. Just tell us, give us some information. Tell us you fuck with what we're doing here. And also make sure to leave a comment and rate and subscribe while you're doing that. Also, Freaks and Geeks, that fucking phone line is dead. It's there. 512-522-3814. Ain't nobody calling it. So you could be the first one. I'd appreciate you if you're the fucking first one. We could answer. Someone take a question from yourself and the next guest will ask us, all right? Pulling that from the fucking Stavi's World podcast there. So shout out to him too. Also, make sure, again, like I said, follow us on Instagram. Follow all the guests. There's been a fucking handful of them. Make sure you go do that and continue to tell a freak or a geek that you know about the podcast. The Doctor's Orders podcast is a Life or Death Studios Productions. Freaks and Geeks. Until next time, we'll see you on the next one. Don't be late.